and say everything, but can we just all stand up for a second? All right, this looks really nice. Um, if you're a teacher, keep standing, rest all sit. All right, students, just look around you. These are your teachers. They are preparing you for your future. The future is exactly in your hands right now. And that's what we are building here today. The police, they really think of the youth to be the future of Mumbai. And even I believe, and I also think that today, you guys have the power to decide what Mumbai is going to be coming in these near years. Teachers, thank you so much for what you do for us today. A big round of applause for them. Really appreciate everything you do. Please sit. If you're participating today, please stand. I came around today just kind of, to see exactly what the pulse is. First, take a deep breath. Release. All right, take it as easy as possible. Guys, you guys have come well prepared today, and I'm sure I've already seen so many of your videos, and I'm really so happy to just be here, to be a part of each and every one of you, to get to know you much, 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 much better. And this work, what you guys are doing here today, does not stop here today. You guys are going to make sure that others come on board with whatever we are doing here today. Yeah, that's empowering a youth, empowering Mumbaikars, and of course, you guys are the future leaders of Mumbai and India. Yeah, so let's have a good show today. And I think so. Sir has already explained to you all what we're going to do and how we're going to rate you guys. The main thing is engage everybody, like I did just now. I made you all stand and be appreciative. Be appreciative of your teachers. Be appreciative of the police as well for what they're doing for you today. Thank you, guys. All the best.
धन्यवाद सर. आप सभी को समझ में आया होगा. सगळ्यांना समजलेलं आहे नक्की. बृहन्मुंबई पोलीस दलातर्फे सन्माननीय श्री संजयजी पांडे साहेब यांची ही संकल्पना युथ फॉर मुंबई स्पीकर्स फोरम. आज विद्यार्थी दशेत असलेली युवा पिढी येणाऱ्या 2030 साली कोणता सकारात्मक दृष्टिकोन घेऊन या देशासमोर आणि विश्वासमोर सामोरे जाणार आहे आणि ती कशी गेली पाहिजे याकरताच आजचा हा युथ फॉर मुंबई स्पीकर्स फोरम कार्यक्रम आयोजित करण्यात आलेला आहे. सर्वप्रथम आपण बृहन्मुंबई पोलीस दलाचे पोलीस आयुक्त श्री संजय पांडे साहेब यांच्याकरता जोरदार टाळ्या वाजूया. धन्यवाद. आपण सुरुवातीलाच म्हणालो होतो की विजेते काही वेगळं करत नाहीत, मात्र वेगळेपणानं करतात. आणि तुम्ही यावेळी विजेते इथे आपल्या समोर आहेत. या प्रेरणा हॉलमध्ये सगळे विजेते आहेत, म्हणून या विजेत्यांसाठीच पहिल्यांदा आपण टाळ्या वाजवून घेऊया. आणि यानंतर खऱ्या अर्थानं आणखीन विजेते होणार आहेत, ते काहीतरी वेगळं करणार आहेत. सन 2030 साली एक दृष्टिकोन, सकारात्मक दृष्टिकोन. मी एक सामान्य नागरिक असेन, मी एक प्रशासकीय अधिकारी असेन, किंवा मी एक राजकीय नेता असेन, या तिन्ही माध्यमातून माझा सकारात्मक दृष्टिकोन कसा असेल असा हा विषय आहे. आणि हा विषय आपल्याला 3 मिनिटात सादर करायचा आहे. आणि हा विषय 3 मिनिटात सादर करताना न्याय निर्णय देण्याकरता आपल्याकडे ज्युरी मंडळ आहेत. सन्माननीय श्री श्रीकांत कोकाटे साहेब, पोलीस उपायुक्त, सशस्त्र विभाग, ताडदेव, मुंबई. हा, आणखीन जोरदार टाळ्या झाल्या पाहिजेत. तुम्हाला सांगू इच्छितो की सरांनी जेव्हा त्यांची परीक्षा पास केली तेव्हा ते संपूर्ण महाराष्ट्रातून पहिले आले होते. डॉक्टर वसंत रेड्डी साहेब, प्राचार्य, एल्फिस्टन महाविद्यालय, फोर्ट, मुंबई. आणखीन जोरदार टाळ्या पाहिजेत. अर्जुनाला शिकवण्यासाठी आचार्य आणि प्राचार्यांची गरज होती. इथे सगळे अर्जुन आहेत, आपल्यामध्ये प्राचार्य आहेत. वसंत रेड्डी साहेब, पुन्हा एकदा जोरदार टाळ्या होऊ द्या. आणि मारिओ फिशरी साहेब, संचालक तंत्रज्ञान विभाग, अमेरिकन स्कूल ऑफ मुंबई, यांच्यासाठी तर आणखीन जोरदार टाळ्या होऊ द्या. सगळ्यात आवश्यक काय असतो जगण्यासाठी, तर तो मोकळा श्वास. तो तुम्हाला त्यांनी घ्यायला सांगितलेला आहे. आता या ठिकाणी तुम्ही पूर्णपणे विश्वासाने तुमच्याकडे असलेल्या विषयाची मांडणी करायची आहे. ज्युरी मंडळ तयार आहे. युथ फॉर मुंबई स्पीकर्स फोरम कॉम्पिटिशन 2022. मित्र हो, शुभ प्रभात, शुभ सकाळ. मी नेहमीच म्हणत असतो की सकाळ म्हणजे फक्त सूर्योदय नसतो, तर सकाळ म्हणजे ईश्वरानं निर्माण केलेली सुंदर कलाकृती असते. अंधारावर मिळवलेला विजय असतो. जगावर पसरलेल्या प्रकाशाच्या साम्राज्याची साक्ष असते. नवीन विचारांची आणि नवीन संकल्पाची आणि नवीन स्वप्नांची सुरुवात असते. आज आपण नवीन स्वप्न आणि नवीन संकल्पाला सुरू करीत आहोत. युथ फॉर मुंबई स्पीकर्स फोरम कॉम्पिटिशन 2022. आपण पहिल्यांदा सर्वप्रथम शालेय विद्यार्थ्यांपासून सुरू करत आहोत. गोपी बिर्ला मेमोरियल स्कूल, मलबार हिल, मुंबई. याती प्रणव खन्ना यांनी यायचं आहे. सर्वप्रथम आपण बोलावित आहोत याती खन्ना. जोरदार टाळ्या होऊ द्या.
Good afternoon, esteemed jury and everyone in the audience. I'm grade 8, and this is my topic for Mumbai Vision 2030, a citizen of Mumbai's plan of action. I've lived in Mumbai my entire life. To watch this city grow and evolve into itself has been a wonderful experience. The whirlwind of changes happening all around me often make me wonder, what will the city be like in 5 or maybe 10 years? What will Mumbai have grown into by 2030? The utilization of cleaner energy sources would further not only the economic but also the environmental progress of the city. The Industrial Revolution characterized Mumbai as a city of mills and factories full of pollution. The city has changed its image over the years, but the remnants of our old methods of production still affect us. Using greener sources coupled with better city planning would also lessen the torrential rain that hits the city every year. If there's one thing Mumbai is known for, it's the traffic. Being a small island city, we Mumbaikars often find ourselves stuck in endless lines of traffic for hours every single day. The metro project that was recently started could potentially provide a permanent solution to both the traffic and the pollution caused by it. A better developed and safer public transport system would benefit not only all the people, but the island itself. It would connect the suburbs and lessen the stress on trains during rush hour. By 2030, I hope that more people are using these developing systems instead of their own personal vehicles. The Mumbai Coastal Road would not only add to the functionality of the city, but also to the overall aesthetic attraction of the city. It would be one of the most scenic developments Mumbai has ever seen. I personally would like to see stricter laws in regards to cleanliness and traffic. And although we should continue developing Mumbai as an urban hub, we should also make sure we stay true to our cultural heritage. Mumbai started out as a part of the Chola Empire and eventually made its way into Portuguese hands. By the mid 18th century, it was an important trading town, and throughout the years, it has flourished, now to be a land of opportunities. I am very proud to be a Mumbaiker because I feel safe on the roads of Mumbai as a girl, unlike many other cities of India. This credit, of course, goes to the Mumbai police for keeping our city guarded from danger. But most of all, I hope by 2030, Mumbai has the same spirit. I hope that there is happiness around every corner and a smile on every person's face. Thank you.
As a kid, I was very fond of cardboard boxes. I would build houses with them and play with them by building cars. But those playthings that were the cardboard boxes for me are actually some people's houses on the streets. Good morning. My name is Bhuvan Goswami from Gopi Birla Memorial School. And as an administrator, my vision for Mumbai 2030 is to get rid of homelessness by giving the homeless jobs and building shelters for them so that they can be educated citizens of Mumbai. During the rainy seasons, these shelters will give them a place to stay. The shelters will be open to any homeless person in need, and meals will be served 3 times a day. A mobile app could be developed so that citizens like all of you can inform my team about the whereabouts of the homeless people in need, after which we'll reach out to them and tell them about our facilities and the shelter. All of the homeless people will be provided with Aadhaar cards and other government facilities compulsory. I, as an administrator, will ensure these. All the adults will be given training camps so that they can learn skills necessary for getting jobs and being independent. I will provide I will provide education for primary and pre-primary for all the children who are in need. The gap between the rich and the poor in Mumbai is huge, but each one of us can help lessen the gap in our own ways. And I dream that by 2030, we can change all the homeless beggars, the people who are trying, and the people who have given hope, who have given up, to give them hope so that they can become educated, healthy citizens of Mumbai with a place that they can call their own home. Thank you.
Good morning, respected jury and everyone in the audience. I am Kritika Puranik from Gopi Birla Memorial School, grade 10. ए दिल है मुश्किल जीना यहाँ जरा हट के जरा बच के ये है मुंबई मेरी जान. Nostalgic, right? What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of Mumbai? For some, it might be the mouth-watering vada paos, or maybe watching the mesmerizing sunsets at Chowpatty. Anyways, everyone has some or the other special attachment to this place that we call Amchi Mumbai. Mumbai, famously called as the city of dreams, is a place where people come from all over the world to fulfill their aspirations. But is it as dreamy as it is portrayed? The answer is no. Mumbai, being the financial capital of India, has its own set of problems. To combat these, I would like to talk about my Mumbai vision of 2030 as a political executive, as a CM of Maharashtra, and the changes I would implement for the betterment of people. There are daily commuters coming in from areas outside of Mumbai to work here for 7 to 8 hours in their day. Thus, the Mumbai metropolitan region has to be considered as a single unit to acknowledge their problems as well. Uh, Public transport will be the need of the hour. It's astonishing that almost 7.5 million Mumbaikars travel by the local trains daily. Mumbai is a city having people from varied cultural backgrounds and differences as well. So, to promote communal harmony, I will ensure maximum coordination between the citizens at the time of festivals. Even though Mumbai has 3 of its places recognized as World Heritage Sites, people are still unaware about the historical heritage of the city. I will emphasize on promoting the same. I believe that youth is a catalyst of change in future. Therefore, their education is vital. I will try and develop a feeling of romanticism in their hearts for the city. As much as Mumbaikars love the skyline of the city, people love being in and around nature as well. Thus, integrating health and maintaining the green cover of the city will be of utmost importance. Slums are looked down upon as stigma, but they were formed out of necessity. They are here because we as people have failed miserably in planning our cities and in providing affordable housing to the poor. Therefore, I will try and improve the physical as well as social infrastructure. One only feels truly homely and pleasant where there's a sense of security where they live in. Every single soul who has experienced or witnessed the 26/11 attack, the communal riots, the bomb blasts, know that they won't be able to forget the trauma they've been through. Therefore, security of Mumbai will be of prime importance. Women's security and safety will be given equal priority as well. I would like to end by saying a quote by Barack Obama, the former US president. Change is not going to come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. So now, the question we should ask ourselves is, are we ready to make an effort for the change? Thank you.
यावेळी गोपी बिर्ला मेमोरियल स्कूल मलबार हिल मुंबई याती खन्ना, बोहन गोस्वामी आणि कृतिका पुराणिक यांनी आपले विचार मांडलेले आहेत. आपण आपल्या जागेवर बसू शकता. यानंतर KMS डॉक्टर शिरोडकर हायस्कूल परेल मुंबई उन्नती दुधवडकर, विदिशा बागवे आणि पूर्वा जाधव यांनी यायचं आहे. उन्नती दुधवडकर सुजाण नागरिक याबद्दल बोलणार आहेत. विदिशा बागवे प्रशासकीय दृष्टिकोन आणि पूर्वा जाधव हे राजकीय दृष्टिकोन या विषयावर बोलणार आहेत. सर्वप्रथम KMS डॉक्टर शिरोडकर हायस्कूल परेल मुंबई उन्नती दुधवडकर.
नमस्कार, माझे नाव उन्नती एकनाथ दुधवडकर आहे. मी आता 10वी मध्ये शिकत असून KMS डॉक्टर शिरोडकर हायस्कूल या शाळेची विद्यार्थिनी आहे. आज मी तुमच्या समोर एक सुजाण नागरिक या कर्तव्याने 2030 मधील माझी मुंबई साकार करण्यासाठी कोणकोणते प्रयत्न करेन याविषयी बोलणार आहे. भारतीय घटनेने आपल्याला जसे अधिकार दिले आहेत त्याचप्रमाणे कर्तव्य सुद्धा दिली आहेत. आपण प्रत्येक ठिकाणी लोकशाहीचा वापर करतो, परंतु कर्तव्य बजावणारे कमीच आढळतात. माझी मुंबई माझी जबाबदारी असे आपण म्हणतो खरे, परंतु या मुंबईची काळजी घ्यायला कोणी पुढे येते का? आपण इतरांना दोष देण्याऐवजी आधी स्वतःपासून सुरुवात करायला हवी. यासाठी मी एक सुजाण नागरिक म्हणून स्वच्छता, शांतता व सामाजिक सहयोग राखण्याचा प्रयत्न करेन. मुंबईमध्ये मोठ्या प्रमाणात काँक्रीटची जंगले निर्माण होत आहेत, त्यामुळेच प्रदूषण वाढही झाली आहे. यावर उपाय म्हणून मी माझ्या परिसरात झाडे लावेन. त्याचबरोबर त्या झाडांची पूर्णपणे वाढ होईपर्यंत काळजी घेईन. तसेच इतरांना सुद्धा किमान एक झाड लावण्यासाठी तरी प्रोत्साहन देईन. वाहतूक कोंडी हा सध्याचा मोठा प्रश्न. यावर उपाय म्हणून मी जास्तीत जास्त प्रमाणात सार्वजनिक वाहनांचा उपयोग करेन. त्याचप्रमाणे पटनाट्यांद्वारे इतर लोकांना सुद्धा जास्तीत जास्त सार्वजनिक वाहनांचा वापर करण्यासाठी प्रेरित करेन. मतदान करणे हे माझे कर्तव्यच आहे. त्याबरोबर इतरांना सुद्धा त्यांच्या मतदानाचा हक्क बजावण्यासाठी प्रेरित करेन. बालमजुरी, कुपोषण, स्त्रियांचे शोषण, शिक्षणाविषयी समस्या, त्याचबरोबर सामाजिक, आर्थिक व राजकीय समस्या यांपासून मुंबईची सुरक्षा करण्यासाठी मी बघ्याची भूमिकेत न राहता एक सुजाण नागरिक म्हणून अधिकार वर्गाच्या बाजूने ठामपणे उभी राहील. अजून एक मुद्दा म्हणजे स्त्रियांची सुरक्षा. स्त्रियांच्या सुरक्षिततेची जबाबदारी ही केवळ पोलिसांची नसून ती सुजाण नागरिकाची आहे. त्यामुळेच मी घरोघरी जाऊन मोबाईल शासनाने प्रोव्हाइड केलेले मोबाईल ॲप्स तसेच नंबर्स यांची माहिती घरोघरी जाऊन पोहोचवेन. अजून एक मुद्दा म्हणजेच मुंबईला लाभलेला समुद्र किनारा ही खरोखरच देणगी आहे. याचे सौंदर्य राखण्यासाठी मी माझ्या दिनक्रमातील किमान 2 दिवस तरी या समुद्राची स्वच्छतेसाठी देईन. मी एक जबाबदार नागरिक म्हणून माझी सर्व कर्तव्ये पार पाडेन. 2030 मधील माझी सुरक्षित मुंबई साकार करण्याची सुरुवात मी आजपासून करत आहे. शेवटी जाता जाता मी एवढेच म्हणेन, संविधानाने दिलेल्या हक्कांचा करणार नाही मी दुरुपयोग. 2030 सालीतील माझी सुरक्षित मुंबई साकार करण्यासाठी मी करेन माझ्या हक्कांचा सदुपयोग. धन्यवाद.
धन्यवाद. युथ फॉर मुंबई स्पीकर्स फोरम. मित्र हो, असं म्हटलं जातं की मोगऱ्याचा सुगंध हा पसरतोच. मोगऱ्याचा सुगंध हा पसरतोच आणि आपल्याला घडवणारे, आपल्याला विश्वास देणारे विश्वास नांगरे पाटील साहेब आले की टाळ्या वाजत. युथ फॉर मुंबई स्पीकर्स फोरम हा कार्यक्रम सन्माननीय श्री संजयजी पांडे साहेब पोलीस आयुक्त आणि सन्माननीय श्री विश्वासजी नांगरे पाटील साहेब यांची संकल्पना आहे. पुन्हा एकदा जरा जोरदार टाळ्या होऊ द्या. आपल्यामध्ये उपस्थित आहेत सन्माननीय श्री विश्वासजी नांगरे पाटील साहेब, युथ आयकॉन. आपल्या सर्वांना येणाऱ्या भविष्यात आपलं भविष्य कसं सुवर्णमय असेल याकरता मन में है विश्वास आणि हर मैदान कर फतेह अशी ही 2 पुस्तकं आपल्याला माहीतच आहेत. पुन्हा एकदा जरा जोरदार टाळ्या होऊ द्या, स्वागत करूया सर. आणि यानंतर आपण बोलूया विदिशा बागवे.
नमस्कार, माझे नाव विदिशा चंद्रकांत बागवे आहे. मी इयत्ता 10वी वर्गात शिकत असून माझ्या शाळेचे नाव केएमएस डॉक्टर शिरोडकर हायस्कूल परेल मुंबई. 2030 मध्ये माझ्या स्वप्नातली मुंबई आणि जर मी पोलीस आयुक्त झाले तर याविषयी आज मी इथे बोलणार आहे. सदरक्षणाय खलनिग्रणाय हे आपल्या पोलिसांचे ब्रीद वाक्य आहे. याचा अर्थ सज्जनांचे रक्षण करण्यास तत्पर आणि दुर्जनांवर नियंत्रण ठेवण्यास कटिबद्ध असा होतो. जरी या उक्तीप्रमाणे आपले पोलीस वागत असले तरी समाजात त्यांच्याबद्दल काही ना काहीतरी गैरसमज असतातच. हेच गैरसमज दूर करण्यासाठी मी पोलीस आयुक्त व्हायचे असे ठरवले आहे. 2030 मध्ये माझ्या स्वप्नातली मुंबई ही डिजिटलाइज असेल. सर्व कामे तांत्रिक पद्धतीने होतील. पण अशा वेळेस माझ्यासमोर अनेक आव्हानेही असतील. कारण जसजसा वेळ बदलत जाईल तसतसे गुन्हे करण्याच्या नवनवीन पद्धती येतील. बऱ्याचदा मुलांना ऑनलाईन मित्रमैत्रीण बनवणे आवडते. अशा वेळेस वाईट कृत्य घडून येते. मग मी सायबर इन्व्हेस्टिगेशनच्या आधारे गुन्हेगाराला तर पकडण्याचा प्रयत्न करेनच, तसेच मी समाजात याविषयी जागरूकता निर्माण करेन. सध्याचा समाज हा व्यसनाधीन होत आहे. कित्येक जण यासाठी आपले आयुष्य संपवतो आहे. अशा लोकांसाठी मी व्यक्तिशः मार्गदर्शन करून त्यांच्यासाठी पुनर्व्यसनाचे कार्य करेन. सध्याचा मोठा आणि महत्त्वाचा प्रश्न म्हणजे स्त्री सुरक्षतेचा. स्त्रियांवर होणारे शारीरिक अत्याचार, अल्पवयीन मुलींवर होणारे लैंगिक अत्याचार यावरती मी विचार करून कडक धोरण स्वीकारेन. तसेच गुन्हेगाराला योग्य ते शासन करेन. स्त्रियांनी स्वसंरक्षण कसे करायचे याचे धडे मीच खेडोपाड्यात जाऊन देईन. भ्रष्टाचार, अंमली पदार्थांची होणारी तस्करी याविषयी मी कडक कायदे लागू करेन. जसजसे तंत्रज्ञान वाढेल तसतसे लोकांना खोटे फोन करून पैसे काढून घेणे असे गुन्हे समोर येतील. याविषयी मी समाजात सतर्कता निर्माण करेन. 2030 मध्ये जर मी पोलीस आयुक्त झाले तर माझ्या मुंबईला मी शिस्तबद्ध बनवण्याचा प्रयत्न करेन. इथे एकही गुन्हा होणार नाही याची मी काळजी घेईन. पण या सर्व गुन्ह्यांवर उपाय तरी काय? तर या सर्व गुन्ह्यांवर उपाय म्हणजे शिक्षण. मी प्रत्येकाला उच्च दर्जाचे शिक्षण देण्याचा प्रयत्न करेन. कारण म्हणतात ना, शिक्षणानेच तर माणूस घडतो. आज जर आपण पाहिले तर पोलिसांमध्ये नागरिक पोलिसांना आपले मित्र मानत नाही. पण जर मी पोलीस आयुक्त झाले तर माझ्यामध्ये आणि नागरिकांमध्ये मैत्रीचे नाते निर्माण करेन, जेणेकरून नागरिक आपल्या समस्या माझ्याशी मनमोकळेपणाने बोलतील. अन्यायाविरुद्ध झुंज हे माझे ब्रीद वाक्य असेल. गुन्हेगार ते चांगला नागरिक घडवण्यासाठी मी नक्कीच झटेन. शेवटी मी एवढेच बोलून इच्छिते. तिमिरातुनी तेजाकडे नेईन माझ्या देशा, तिमिरातुनी तेजाकडे नेईन माझ्या देशा, ध्वज विजयाचा उंच धरोणी राखीनी मान खाकीचा. खाकी मधला देवदूत हा, खाकी मधला देवदूत हा प्राणाची आहुती देई. भूक तहान विसरून जाईन, फक्त आणि फक्त मी कर्तव्यासाठी दक्ष राहीन, फक्त आणि फक्त मी कर्तव्यासाठी दक्ष राहीन. धन्यवाद. जय हिंद, जय महाराष्ट्र.
नमस्कार, माझे नाव पूर्वा विकास जाधव आहे. मी आता 10वीत शिकते व माझ्या शाळेचे नाव केएमएस डॉक्टर शिरोडकर हायस्कूल आहे. माझ्या स्वप्नात सुद्धा एक मुंबई आहे व भविष्यात राजकीय क्षेत्रातील एखादा नेता किंवा मंत्री झाले तर माझ्या स्वप्नातील मी मुंबई कशी साकार करेन याविषयी थोडक्यात बोलणार आहे. मुंबई म्हणजे आपल्या भारतातलं एक प्रमुख शहर. मुंबई म्हणजे आपल्या देशाची आर्थिक राजधानी. मुंबई हे अर्थात स्वप्नपूर्तीचं स्थान आणि माझ्या स्वप्नात सुद्धा अशीच एक मुंबई आहे व भविष्यात मी राजकीय क्षेत्रात उतरले तर नक्कीच माझ्या स्वप्नातील मुंबई साकार करण्याचा प्रयत्न करणार आहे. मुंबईमध्ये सगळ्यात पहिलं आणि महत्त्वाची समस्या येते ती म्हणजे बेरोजगारी. आपल्या भारतातून अनेक भागातून मुंबईमध्ये लोक रोजगारानिमित्त स्थलांतरित होत असतात. परंतु जास्त लोकसंख्या व सोयीसुविधांच्या तुटवड्यामुळे प्रत्येकालाच रोजगार मिळतो असे नाही. त्यामुळे समस्येच्या मुळाशी असलेला सोयीसुविधांचा तुटवडा मी सर्वप्रथम दूर करण्याचा प्रयत्न करीन. त्यासाठी प्रत्येक नागरिकाला चांगल्या प्रमाणात मुबलक दरामध्ये सोयीसुविधा देण्याचा प्रयत्न करीन व त्याचबरोबर गोरगरीब, स्थलांतरित, शिक्षित, बेरोजगार या सर्वांना रोजगार मिळवून देण्यासाठी लहान स्तरांवरती उद्योग, व्यापार, व्यवसाय इत्यादींची निर्मिती करण्याचा प्रयत्न करेन. दुसरी महत्त्वाची गोष्ट येते ती म्हणजे शैक्षणिक उपलब्धता आणि समानता. गोरगरिबांपासून ते श्रीमंत श्रीमंतांपर्यंत प्रत्येक विद्यार्थ्याला विद्यालयीन आणि महाविद्यालयीन शिक्षण देण्याचा प्रयत्न करेन. त्याचबरोबर केवळ पुस्तकी ज्ञान न देता स्वविकासासाठी विविध उपक्रमांमध्ये सहभागी त्यांना करून घेऊन त्यांचा स्वविकास करून घेण्याचा प्रयत्न करेन. अर्थातच शिक्षण हा आपल्या आयुष्याचा महत्त्वाचा पाया आहे. त्यामुळे ते शिक्षण प्रत्येकाला मिळणे फार गरजेचे आहे. त्याचबरोबर आपल्या शहरातील वृद्धांना त्यांचे जीवन हे आरामदायी व सुखकारक करण्यासाठी विविध उपक्रम, उपाययोजना राबवून त्यांचे जीवन हे चांगले करण्याचा प्रयत्न करीन. तरुण हा आपल्या शहराचा एक महत्त्वाचा घटक आहे. त्यामुळे त्यांना विविध उपक्रमांमध्ये सहभागी करून त्यांच्या अंतर्गत आपल्या शहराचा विकास करून घेईन. महिलांच्या सुरक्षिततेकडे दुर्लक्ष न करता त्याचबरोबर त्यांचा स्वविकास घडवून आणण्यासाठी विविध घरगुती व्यवसाय यांची निर्मिती करून त्यांना सुद्धा त्यांचा स्वविकास व स्वरोजगार मिळवून देण्याचा प्रयत्न करीन. एकंदरीत आजच्या तुलनेत 2030 मधील माझ्या स्वप्नातील मुंबई ही आर्थिकदृष्ट्या, तांत्रिक, वैज्ञानिक अशा सगळ्याच क्षेत्रामध्ये पुढे असलेली मुंबई असेल. त्याचबरोबर मी माझ्या कार्यातून लोकांच्या नजरेत राजकीय नेत्याबद्दल असलेला दृष्टिकोन हा नक्कीच बदलण्याचा प्रयत्न करीन व माझी मुंबई ही सगळ्यात पुढे असलेलं एक शहर असेल आणि प्रत्येकाला या शहरात राहत असल्याचा अभिमान वाटेल. धन्यवाद.
KMS डॉक्टर शिरोडकर हायस्कूल परेल मुंबई यांच्या विद्यार्थ्यांनी आपले विचार मांडलेले आहेत. विद्या ददाते विनयाम विनयाद याती पात्रताम पात्रतात धनमाप्नोती धनात धर्म तथा सुखम असं म्हटलं जातं. यानंतर PVG विद्याभवन हायस्कूल घाटकोपर ईस्ट मुंबई हर्षल सुनील ताटकर, शुभ्रा संजय सावंत आणि वेदांत पराग दीक्षित आपण यायचं आहे. PVG विद्याभवन हायस्कूल घाटकोपर ईस्ट मुंबई हर्षल सुनील ताटकर.
Good morning, Mumbai, Meri Jaan. Today, I, as a politician, am going to be presenting my vision for Mumbai by 2030. I have a vision that Mumbai transforms into a modern city with high quality education and healthcare and is recognized from around the world from being a green and smart city. To make this vision possible, I, with the help of my people, will need to overcome several hurdles and introduce necessary reform. Today, Mumbai is in an urgency of widening or developing new roads. But the damage done to the environment during this process should be either negligible or controlled. The modern problems that Mumbai faces today require modern solutions. Innovation and technology are essential for Mumbai's transformation into a green and smart city. For example, to solve Mumbai's problem of waste management, a smart bin capable of self-driving and unloading itself into a waste management system can be placed on every possible waste disposal system in Mumbai. The problem of overcrowding of public transport can be solved by increasing the frequency of trains, metros, and buses and using mobile applications in order to guide passengers to a less crowded bus or train. The innovative solution of building a cycle track with a solar panel shade can not only introduce the practice of cycling to work, well protected from the scorching heat of Mumbai, but can also bring a big boost to green energy. Innovation can also be used to introduce newer forms of transport like a drone taxi or a levitating and frictionless metro. The integrated traffic management systems can be used in order to adjust signal timings to ease congested traffic and find traffic violators. Today, as a politician, to encourage development, technology, and innovation, I, as a politician, will surely bring reform to make Mumbai a more startup-friendly environment. Mumbai today and encourage Mumbai's problem solvers in order to once I bring the right reforms, there is nothing that can stop my 20 million loyal residents from building the city of their dreams with sites like the NCPA, Siddhivinayak Temple, Haji Ali Dargah, Mount Mary Church. It is evident that Mumbai is a city with a rich historical and cultural heritage. I wish that every citizen of Mumbai will embrace this heritage and say to the world, मी मुंबईकर असण्याचा खूप अभिमान राखतो. जय महाराष्ट्र, जय मुंबई.
It starts with a hustle even before the rise of the sun. Throughout the day, it's busy fulfilling its vision. At night, it dazzles among the stars. This is a city which never sleeps. The Queen of India, the city of dreams, Mumbai. A very good morning to the respected dignitaries on the dais and all the people present here. It feels a great honor to express my vision for Mumbai in 2030 as a bureaucrat. Till now, we have gained numerous achievements, but my aim is to take those to another level. Step out of the time machine and you will see 2030 in our city looks a lot different than 2020. Artificial intelligence and other technological advances will enhance human to robot interactions, which will also help in the development of various sectors like education, crime, cyber, etc. After battling a life threatening pandemic like COVID, we all have experienced how bravely our city tackled it. Similarly, in 2030, a strong medical front will add to one more great achievement. I will assure that every hospital in our city has a well equipped and advanced medical base to support the rising population of our city. I also want to educate every youth of Mumbai so that the future of our city will be in safe hands. For this, the primary step is to make our Mumbai public schools equivalent to all the private schools in terms of infrastructures. The secondary step is to assure that education reaches the door of every student by the elimination of discriminating factors. Mumbai is very well known for its grand celebrations of festivals every year, but they mark to the increase in pollution levels in our city. My goal towards 2030 is to celebrate these festivals with same enthusiasm, but by sticking to proper waste management like bioremediation, thermal treatments, recycling centers, etc. to keep the pollution in control. Where Mumbai looks its best in rains, it only takes an hour for it to be in floods. Segregation of waste and proper underwater storage system will be carried out strictly to avoid the clogging of drains. Also, plantation of more trees will allow the rainwater to seep into the ground. Recently, I saw a video where the people of Mizoram follow the traffic rules with utmost care as a symbol to show respect and empathy towards the pedestrians as well as other co-travelers. I would like to get inspired by them and implement the same idea in our city to reduce the road accidents and increase the systematic traveling on the routes of Mumbai. As the infrastructure in our city becomes unique, it will attract more tourists all over the world, assuring that tourism in Mumbai will be safe and clean. At last, I would like to conclude myself by saying that let's together take the legacy of Mumbai forward, cherishing the Republic values, moving on a path of prosperity and progress. It will surely require an effort from each one of us, and it's only possible when we stay united, admire, and implement our values sincerely. Thank you.
हॅलो. इथे उपस्थित मान्यवर, परीक्षक, शिक्षक वर्ग, पालक व माझे सर्व विद्यार्थी मित्रांना ना सप्रेम नमस्कार. खरं तर प्रत्येक सामान्य माणसात एक असामान्य माणूस दडलेला असतो आणि जर प्रत्येक नागरिक एक जबाबदार नागरिक बनला तर आपली ही माया नगरी एक आदर्श शहर आपोआपच बनेल. पण आदर्श शहर म्हटलं तर माझ्या मनात दोन मुद्दे पहिले येतात. पहिली पायाभूत सुविधा आणि दुसरा राहणीमानाचा दर्जा. पायाभूत सुविधा म्हणजे पब्लिक ट्रान्सपोर्ट, वीज, रस्ते, पाणी हे जितके कार्यक्षम असतील तितकं त्या शहराची कार्यक्षमता जास्त असते आणि राहणीमानाचा दर्जा तो तर आपोआपच वाढतो. प्रगतीची एक एक पायरी चढत असलेली आपली मुंबई आजही भारतातील सुरक्षित सुखसोयींचे शहर आहेच, पण आपण आपल्या देशाच्या आर्थिक राजधानीचा भविष्याचा विचार करायला हवा. व तोच विचार करताना माझ्या मनात अनेक मुद्दे येतात. त्यातील काही तुमच्या समोर मी मांडतोय. पहिला मुद्दा पाण्याचा. दरवर्षी पावसात ही कधीही न थांबणारी मुंबई काही काळ थबकतेच. त्यासाठी पावसाचे पाणी जमिनीत कसे मुरतील याकरता मुंबईत मोठ्या प्रमाणात हरित क्षेत्रे निर्माण करायला हवी. त्याचबरोबर अनेक सोसायटीने एकत्र येऊन प्रशासनाच्या मदतीने रेन वॉटर हार्वेस्टिंग सगळे प्रकल्प देखील राबवायला हवे. दुसरी महत्वाची व मोठी समस्या म्हणजे आपली गर्दी. यावर उपाय म्हणून मेट्रो आणि रस्त्याचे जाळं विणले जात आहेत. त्यात यश पण येईल, पण या गर्दीत शिस्तीसाठी जर जनजागृती अभियान सुरू केले तर नागरिकांना ती शिस्त पटकन लागून ही एक मोठी समस्या पटकन आटोक्यात येईल. त्याचबरोबर सायकल व इलेक्ट्रिक वाहने चालवण्यास नागरिकांना प्रोत्साहन व जागरूक करणे हे तितकेच महत्वाचं, कारण वायू प्रदूषण मुंबईतले कमी होईल. त्याचबरोबर आणि मला खात्री आहे की तोपर्यंत मुंबईत एक सुनियोजित सुरक्षित वाहतूक यंत्रणा नक्की निर्माण होईल. मराठीत एक म्हण आहे की स्वच्छता असावी घरोघरी, तेथे लक्ष्मी वास करी. इथे घर तुझं माझं नसून आपली आमची मुंबई आहे. स्वच्छता ही वैयक्तिक व सार्वजनिक असावी. सार्वजनिक म्हणजे पब्लिक ठिकाणी, पब्लिक ट्रान्सपोर्ट मध्ये, बस स्टॉपवर, रेल्वे स्टेशनवर आणि उद्यानांवर. शासन आपल्या वतीने स्वच्छता अभियान राबवत आहेच, पण त्याचबरोबर आपण एक जबाबदार नागरिक म्हणून ओला व सुखा कचरा विभाजन व योग्य त्या वस्तूंचे पुनर्वापर केले तर आपली ही मुंबई हिरवाईने नटून पुन्हा सुंदर होईल. मागील 2 वर्षात आपण एका मोठ्या संकटाला सामोरे गेलो, तो म्हणजे कोरोना. कोरोना आपल्याला घर बसल्या बरंच काही शिकवून गेला, पण जर ही वेळ परत आली तर एक जबाबदार नागरिक म्हणून आपण त्या संकटाला सामोरं जाण्यास तितकंच सक्षम असायला हवं. व त्याचबरोबर प्रशासन व्यवस्थेला कशी मदत व कसे सहकार्य करता येईल हे देखील आपल्यावर अवलंबून आहे. व मला अपेक्षित आहे की तोपर्यंत मुंबईतील आरोग्य यंत्रणा देखील सुसज्ज असेल. शहराची सामाजिक बांधिलकी जपणं जोपासणं ही तितकंच महत्वाचं आहे, कारण जेव्हा माणूस माणसाशी माणसासारखे वागेल तेव्हा एक धर्मनिरपेक्ष सर्वसमावेशक मुंबई बनेल आणि त्या मुंबईच्या प्रगतीच्या वेगाला कुठल्याही समस्येचा गतिरोधक लागणार नाही. आणि सुनियोजित रस्ते, शिस्तीशीर रहदारी, पादचारी मार्ग, सायकल ट्रॅक्स, ई बाईक्स हे आहे माझ्या डोळ्यासमोरील 2030 सालातली आपली मुंबई. शेवटी एवढंच म्हणेल, ज्ञानेश्वरांनी पसायदानाचे दान मागितले आहेत की जे खळांची व्यंकटी सांडो तया सत्कर्मी रती वाढो, भूता परस्परे जडो मैत्र जीवांचे. आणि अशी मुंबई एक सामान्य नागरिक म्हणून 2030 पर्यंत आम्ही अपेक्षित करतोय. धन्यवाद.
खरोखरच एसी हॉल मध्ये युथ फॉर मुंबई स्पीकर्स फोरम आता वातावरण गरम व्हायला लागलेलं आहे. मी नेहमीच म्हणतो की फळाफुलांचा मळा पाहिजे, फळाफुलांचा मळा पाहिजे, आनंदाचा सोहळा पाहिजे आणि जगासमोर खुल्या दिलाने विचार मांडतील अशी मुंबईमध्ये शाळा पाहिजे. भक्ती वेदांत स्वामी मिशन स्कूल अंबोली, नित्यानंद उपाध्याय, रिद्धिमा चतुर्वेदी आणि इरा गुप्ता.
Good morning to the jury present here and to all the teachers, students present here. I would like to encapsulate my speech and my vision in an acronym that is BOOM. BOOM. My slogan being Boom Mumbai Boom. B standing for Bye to Corruption. Corruption is a major impediment in the progress of a country, city, especially. Therefore, by eradicating corruption from its grassroots level, I will help in the progress of my city. O standing for Own a Home. Mumbai has one of the highest growing salaries in the world, But due to the high skyrocketing real estate prices, it is very difficult for a Mumbaikar to own a home. Therefore, supporting projects like the MADA project and many other such projects which help a Mumbaikar getting his dream home at cheap and affordable rates. My second O is onus of health. This will be of two parts. Part number one is modern healthcare facilities at affordable, cheap rates to all citizens at any point of time, as it is a necessity of the hour. My second part is preventive measures. The COVID lockdown has made us understand that health is very, very important. Therefore, using all the unused land in making green zones and playgrounds and physical exercising places by which people of all ages will be fit and therefore help in the program of Fit India, Happy India, Hum Fit to India Fit. My last point is move at ease. Traffic is choking Mumbai. Therefore, public transport is one of the only solutions for that. Therefore, making an integration of all the three important public transports, that is, the railway, the metro, and the buses, will be a prime solution. And increasing their frequency by making a software or a system which is efficient, fast, and reliable, by which a Mumbaikar can reach from any point of Mumbai to any other point at the fastest pace, thus booming Mumbai to be one of the best smart cities in the world. Thank you very much. Boom, Mumbai, boom.
Good morning to one and all present here. I'm Ridhima Chaturvedi and I'm going to speak on my view of Mumbai in 2030 as an administrator. Did you know that the Mumbai has the population of about 2 crores, yet almost 55% of Mumbai's total population lives in slums. 20% of Mumbai's population is below the poverty line, and according to the 2011 census, almost 54,500 people in Mumbai were homeless, not even counting the recent years and the COVID lockdown. As an administrator, my concern here being that these people live in unhygienic conditions which promote diseases. Most of these slums are not certified by the government and thus are not eligible for water pipes, drainage system, transportation facilities, or electricity. These areas cannot be provided with the long-term solutions as they are not the best part of the city. But in my opinion, these areas should be at least provided with water tanks and electricity looking at the recent situation. These people should also be made aware of their rights like the right to education, so the overall standard of living in Mumbai increases. Second, Mumbai could earn a large revenue by implementing fines. Nobody is following laws or is scared of the law, as 1,000 rupees fine for some things is not that high of an amount. For example, the government has given 1,000 rupees fine for spitting on roads or throwing trash, but there is no one implementing or forcing these fines. A temporary employment could be provided to the young generation of India, where they could be placed at the main roads and dustbins are present everywhere. With low income, the young people just want a temporary job so that they can earn a minimum amount. Third, Mumbai should be converted into a smart city. Mumbai is the financial capital of India and is highly populated. It is developed to a large extent. Smart cities come with sustainable development. Sustainable development will allow Mumbai to grow economically, socially, and of course, it would protect the environment. Usage of electric vehicles and solar panels would go a long way to help. Rainwater harvesting is also easy to happen. Mumbai receives a large amount of rainfall. As an administrator, I would ask the government to make it compulsory for all private sector industries to have a tank or a place in the rooftops of their buildings so that rainwater harvesting can be practiced. I would ask the government to support NGOs that remove stray animals from the roads so the city is much cleaner than before. In 2030, I want Mumbai to be included in lists like the cleanest, happiest, and smartest cities in the world. Thank you for listening to me.
Good morning, honorable judges and one and all present here. I am Ira Samir Gupta from Standard 10th, representing Bhaktivedanta Swami Mission School. Here I am speaking from the youth point of view about how would I like to make my city Mumbai one of the best cities in the whole world. It is widely said that once a Mumbaikar, always a Mumbaikar. Mumbai is not just a city, it's an attitude that soon seeps into our life and becomes distinction for life. The life in Mumbai is all about constant struggling and dreaming, hence named City of Dreams. We also have a very historical background as we have seen the bravery of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj to the struggle of 2611 terrorist attack. Mumbai is great in many ways, but simple and little changes can make it the best. As a secular student, I want my Mumbai to be free of all sorts of discrimination based on caste, creed, sex, and religion. By 2030, I want my Mumbai to be transformed into a digital Mumbai, as it has a lot of scope in the future in all the fields. Then we would be at par with all the other smarter cities of the world. Afforestation is a major issue. So, to combat that, one tree can be planted on every order on an online platform. This would boost afforestation on a very large scale. Avenues can be made on the highways to serve two purposes. Firstly, to increase the number of trees, and that would also beautify the city. We should restrict the use of fossil fuels and vehicles as they require petroleum and diesel. Fossil fuels have a very bad cascading effect on our environment. Firstly, it increases global warming, melts the glaciers, and then increases the chance of drowning of Mumbai as we are a coastal city. Speaking about vehicles, India is aimed to generate up to $300 billion in annual revenue by 2026, which would contribute to 12% of nation's gross domestic product, thereby creating 65 million more job opportunities in India overall. Cycling should be promoted for better health and better environment. Carpooling facilities like that of metro should be well connecting the city so that Mumbai can be free of traffic. Waste segregation awareness should be spread so that we can generate our own manure. In education sector, statistics prove that around 80% of the students leave India and go to abroad for their further studies. So by 2030, I want Mumbai to have some of the best colleges and universities so that the brain drain can reduce. In medical field, by virtualization and automation, efficiency can be increased and cost can be reduced, thereby helping more poor people to afford the high-level expensive treatment. And lastly, when I am eligible to vote, I would vote rightly for the right candidate and the government who would make my city Mumbai one of the best cities in the world. Thereby, I end my speech on the hopes that we may stand at the merits of a capable competitor. Thank you so much for your time, patience, and consideration.
यानंतर शैलेंद्र एज्युकेशन सोसायटी शैलेंद्रनगर दहिसर ईस्ट मुंबई वल्लभ बोरकर, प्रांजली कदम आणि आयुष जाधव. वल्लभ बोरकर सुजाण नागरिक याबद्दल बोलणार आहेत. प्रांजली कदम प्रशासकीय दृष्टिकोन याबद्दल बोलणार आहेत आणि आयुष जाधव हे राजकीय दृष्टिकोन या विषयावर बोलणार आहेत. प्रथम येणार आहेत वल्लभ बोरकर.
नमस्कार, माझं नाव वल्लभ मयूर बोरकर. मी शैलेंद्र एज्युकेशन सोसायटी या शाळेत शिकत आहे. सामान्य नागरिकाला सध्याच्या काळात कुणीच किंमत देत नाही. त्याला अनेक हाल अपेष्टांना सामोरे जावे लागत आहे. आता आपल्या सर्वांना वाटतंय की ही सर्व परिस्थिती बदलणे गरजेचे आहे, पण आपण पाहतोय की परिस्थिती दिवसेंदिवस बिकट होत चालली आहे. कुणाचाच धाक नाही, कुणीच कायदा पाळत नाही. जे आपले संरक्षण करतात त्यांनाच म्हणजेच पोलिसांना लोक मारहाण करत आहेत. somebody should be there to control the situation. त्यांच्यावरच लोक हल्ले करत आहेत. मुंबई कोणाला उपाशी ठेवत नाही. इथे सर्वांसाठी कामधंदा उपलब्ध होतो, तरीही लोक कायद्याचे उल्लंघन करतात. 2030 मध्ये एक आदर्श शहर उभारण्यासाठी सर्वात महत्वाचे म्हणजे भ्रष्टाचार मुक्त होणे गरजेचे आहे. आपल्या शहराची स्वच्छता राखणे ही सामान्य नागरिकाची म्हणजेच आपली जबाबदारी आहे. परिस्थिती जरी गंभीर असली तरी आपलं शासन खंबीर आहे. आपण शासनाचे नियम पाळायला हवे. आणि याची सुरुवात आपण स्वतःपासून करणे गरजेचे आहे. आपण स्वतःच विचार केला पाहिजे की आपण वाहतुकीचे नियम पाळतो का, स्वच्छतेचे नियम पाळतो का? तर नाही. कारण मुंबईच्या रस्त्यावर आपल्याला जागोजागी कचऱ्याचे ढीग दिसतात. त्यामुळे इतर लोकांना तर त्याचा त्रास होतोच, पण त्यामुळे रोगराई देखील वाढते. हे सर्व जर आपण आत्ताच थांबवले तरच 2030 मध्ये पूर्णपणे बंद होईल. हल्ली रस्त्यावर वाहतूक कोंडी देखील वाढत चालली आहे, कारण प्रत्येक जण स्वतःच्या वैयक्तिक वाहनाने प्रवास करत आहे. त्यामुळे वाहतूक कोंडी तर वाढतेच, पण त्यासोबत वायू प्रदूषण आणि ध्वनी प्रदूषण देखील वाढत चालले आहे. हे जर असेच सुरू राहिले तर पुढील काही वर्षात इंधन पूर्णपणे संपून जाईल. त्यामुळे आपण जास्तीत जास्त सायकलचा वापर करायला हवा. त्यामुळे इंधनाची तर बचत होईलच, पण आपला व्यायाम देखील होईल. आपल्या शहरातील दैसर, पोईसर, ओशिवरा आणि मिठी नद्यांचे पाणी स्वच्छ ठेवण्याची जबाबदारी आपली आहे. या सर्व मोहिमेला आपण आत्ताच सुरुवात केली तरच 2030 मध्ये आपल्या शहरात घाणीचे साम्राज्य नसेल, लोक वाहतुकीचे नियम पाळतील आणि आपले शहर प्रदूषण मुक्त होईल. त्यामुळे भविष्यात मुंबई शहर एक आदर्श शहर म्हणून ओळखले जाईल. धन्यवाद.
नमस्कार, माझे नाव प्रांजली दीपक कदम. मी शैलेंद्र एज्युकेशन सोसायटी मराठी माध्यमिक शाळा दैसर येथे इयत्ता 10वी मध्ये शिकते. जर मी प्रशासकीय अधिकारी झाले तर 2030 ची मुंबई घडवण्यासाठी मी काय करेन हे मी तुम्हाला सांगणार आहे. मी एकदा रस्त्यावरून जात असताना रस्त्याच्या दुरुस्तीचे काम सुरू होते. अतिशय घाई गडबडीने आणि अत्यंत निकृष्ट प्रतीचा माल वापरून काम उरकले जात होते. हे भीषण दृश्य पाहून मला असे वाटले की जनतेचा पैसा अक्षरशः वाया जात आहे. महात्मा गांधींचे रामराज्याचे स्वप्न होते, परंतु हे स्वप्न केव्हा पूर्ण होईल? जेव्हा प्रशासकीय अधिकारी आपल्या जबाबदाऱ्यांची जाणीव ठेवून अशा सर्वसामान्य व्यक्तींसाठी अचूक निर्णय घेतील, तेव्हा हे स्वप्न पूर्ण होईल. आणि याच विचारचक्रात क्षणात मी स्वप्नाच्या जगात शिरले. आणि जर मी प्रशासकीय अधिकारी झाले तर मी काय करणार याचा विचार करू लागले. जेव्हा माझ्या हाती कार्यभार येईल तेव्हा सर्वात आधी माझ्या इतर सहकाऱ्यांना मी विश्वासात घेईन. तसेच माझे अधिकार क्षेत्र आणि माझ्या कर्तव्यांची सांगड घालून माझ्या भागातील सर्व मूलभूत प्रश्नांवर अभ्यास करून त्यांवर उपाय म्हणून मी परिस्थितीनुसार निर्णय घेईन. प्रशासकीय अधिकारी हा भारताच्या शेवटच्या व्यक्तीशी आणि भारतीय संविधानाशी बांधील असतो. मी प्रशासकीय अधिकारी म्हणून माझ्या अधिकारांचा जास्तीत जास्त वापर प्रशासनात चालणारा भ्रष्टाचार आणि ज्या अपप्रवृत्ती बोकाळल्या आहेत त्यांवर नियंत्रण ठेवण्यासाठी करेन. आणि जर गरज पडल्यास मी त्यांवर कठोर कारवाई करण्यातही कमी पडणार नाही. मी प्रशासकीय अधिकारी म्हणून माझ्या पैशांचा गैरवापर न करता तो पैसा लोकांच्या गरजांची पूर्तता करण्यासाठी वापरेन. मी माझ्या कार्यक्षेत्रात स्वच्छता, शांतता आणि सामाजिक सलोखा राखण्याचा पूर्ण प्रयत्न करेन. सरकारची अनुदाने, सोयी सवलती गरजू लोकांपर्यंत कशा पोहोचतील यासाठी मी जातीने प्रयत्न करेन. तसेच सरकारी धोरणे, सरकारी निर्णय लोकांपर्यंत पोहोचवणे हे माझे कर्तव्य आहे आणि मी आज कुठेही कमी पडणार नाही. सत्ता, संपत्ती, मोह, वैयक्तिक हेवेदावे या सर्व गोष्टी बाजूला ठेवून लोकांच्या गरजांची पूर्तता कशी होईल याकडे मी जास्त लक्ष देईन. भ्रष्टाचार आणि कामचुकारपणा या गोष्टी कटाक्षाने टाळेन. तसेच मी प्रशासनात कोणाचाही हस्तक्षेप होऊ देणार नाही, मग तो राजकारणी असो वा श्रीमंत लोक. मी कोणाच्याही दबावास बळी न पडता माझे कर्तव्य नीट पार पाडून माझ्या कामात प्रामाणिक राहीन. जय हिंद, जय महाराष्ट्र.
नमस्कार, माझे नाव आयुष महेश जाधव. मी इयत्ता 9वी शैलेंद्र एज्युकेशन सोसायटी या शाळेत शिकत आहे. मी आमदार या दृष्टीने 2030 मधील मुंबई विषयी माझा दृष्टिकोन. सध्या मुंबईत अनेक समस्या आहेत. त्यामध्ये प्रामुख्याने पाणी, रस्ते, वीज, वाहतूक कोंडी, शैक्षणिक, वैद्यकीय, गुन्हेगारी, बेरोजगारी, गरिबी, अंधश्रद्धा, जातीभेद आणि भ्रष्टाचार अशा अनेक समस्यांना नागरिकांना सामोरे जावे लागत आहे आणि सर्वांना निवाऱ्याची समस्या सतावत आहेच. या सर्व समस्या 2030 पर्यंत सोडून सर्वसामान्य नागरिकांना घटनेप्रमाणे सुविधा उपलब्ध करून देण्यात येतील. सर्वसामान्य नागरिकांना, महिलांना, मुलांना, ज्येष्ठ नागरिकांना सुरक्षित वाटेल आणि मुंबई शहराविषयी आपलेपणा वाटेल असे आदर्श मुंबई बनविण्याचा मी प्रयत्न करेन. तसेच सर्व आर्थिक व्यवहार कॅशलेस करून भ्रष्टाचार मुक्त करण्यात येईल. वनसंवर्धन केल्याने प्राणी व पशु पक्ष्यांचे रक्षण होईल आणि मुंबई हरित होईल. गोरगरिबांना आवश्यक सुविधा, रोजगार, शैक्षणिक सुविधा, वैद्यकीय सुविधा अल्प दरात पुरवण्यात येतील आणि सायबर गुन्हे, आर्थिक गुन्हे, गुंडगिरी, भ्रष्टाचार नष्ट करून नागरिकांना सुरक्षित वाटेल असे मुंबई शहर बनवण्याचा मी प्रयत्न करेन. पर्यटन स्थळे, गड किल्ले, समुद्र किनारे सुशोभित करून नागरिकांना त्याचा जास्तीत जास्त वापर व्हावा असे बनवण्याचा मी प्रयत्न करेन. नागरिकांना जास्तीत जास्त रोजगार मिळावा आणि त्यांचे उदरनिर्वाह होण्यासाठी आवश्यक अशा सर्व सुविधा त्यांना पुरवण्यात येतील. सर्वांसाठी सुसज्ज हॉस्पिटल, शाळा, कॉलेजेस, संगणक प्रशिक्षण उपलब्ध करून देण्यात येतील. कार्यालये, शाळा, कॉलेज, हॉस्पिटल संगणकीकृत करून सर्व व्यवहार डिजिटल करण्यात येतील. यामुळे आपोआपच आर्थिक गुन्हेगारी आणि भ्रष्टाचार नष्ट होईल. मुंबईतील नागरिकांना सुखसोयी मिळाल्याने मुंबईतील नागरिक आनंदाने, एकमेकीने आणि आपुलकीने मुंबई शहरात नांदतील याची मी हमी देतो. मुंबई शहराचे सांघाय, जपान व दुबई या शहरांमध्ये रूपांतर करण्यासाठी मला तुम्हा सर्वांच्या सहकार्याची अपेक्षा आहे आणि 2030 मधील मुंबई विविधतेने, सुविधांनी व रंगछटेने नटलेली आपणास पाहावयास मिळेल असे मी आश्वासन देतो. जय हिंद, जय भारत, जय महाराष्ट्र.
धन्यवाद. युथ फॉर मुंबई स्पीकर्स फोरम कॉम्पिटिशन यामध्ये 5 शाळांतील विद्यार्थ्यांनी आपले विचार मांडलेले आहेत. सुजाण नागरिक, राजकीय दृष्टिकोन आणि प्रशासकीय दृष्टिकोन. ज्या पद्धतीने सर हे विद्यार्थी विचार मांडत होते, उजव्या बाजूला बसल्यानंतर मला या विद्यार्थ्यांमध्ये खरोखरच मुख्यमंत्री साहेब दिसायला लागले, प्रशासकीय साहेब दिसायला लागले आणि सुजाण नागरिक दिसायला लागले. आमच्या सरांची म्हणजेच आमचे पोलीस आयुक्त सन्माननीय श्री संजय पांडे साहेब यांची संकल्पना जी आहे ती खरोखर सत्यामध्ये उतरणार याची ग्वाही मला दिसू लागलेली आहे. सन 2030 मध्ये या ठिकाणी बसलेल्या विद्यार्थ्यांपैकी एक मुख्यमंत्री असला, एक प्रशासकीय असला आणि सगळे सुजाण नागरिक असल्या तरी संकल्पना खरोखर खूप महत्वाची ठरणार आहे. शालेय विद्यार्थ्यांनी आपल्या विषयामधून ज्योत पेटवलेली आहे आणि यानंतर कॉलेजचे विद्यार्थी इथे अंगार दाखवतील असा आम्हा सगळ्यांना विश्वास आहे. आणि म्हणूनच प्रथमतः युथ फॉर मुंबई स्पीकर्स फोरम कॉम्पिटिशन 2022 मध्ये आपण HR कॉलेज ऑफ कॉमर्स अँड इकॉनॉमिक्स चर्चगेट मुदित मखिजा, अनिष्का नागपाल आणि ब्रेन्ना फर्नांडिस यांना बोलावित आहोत. आपण जोरदार टाळ्यांच्या गजरात स्वागत करायचं. HR कॉलेज ऑफ कॉमर्स अँड इकॉनॉमिक्स चर्चगेट मुदित, अनिष्का आणि ब्रेन्ना, स्वागत आहे आपलं.
Can I start? Yeah, it's better if I get one. Hello. Hello. So it's post 12. So good afternoon to all the audience who have taken out their time and also to the respected dignitaries. I will just start by asking one of the jury members if I'm looking good today. Can you please answer? I am. So why don't we give this thought before leaving a house is about a city? That is my city looking good. Over the last decade, city has declined quite steeply in many dimensions of economic growth and quality of life. It is a thing that we need to deeply think about, and we need to get a mental change, the change in mindset from thinking about incremental improvement and debottlenecking to start thinking about getting quality leap jumps towards a standard of living. The Mumbai police has always been considerate in helping the officials and helping the citizens. The Nirbhaya squad gained media recognition due to the highly renowned media industry faces that were involved in the advertising campaigns. When I talk to my opposite gender friends that I have, they always feel safe tonight to move around the city. But before entering a local police station, do they feel mentally safe? Private transport firms hold up advertisements that citizens are safe here. So I think so they are just considering the physical outcome. Because before entering the police station, you always have a thought, "Kya अरे crime तुम पे ही कुछ पलट गया तो?" We need to change this, and we need to portray the considered police officials and their mindset to the audience and to the public, because they have been doing some tremendous work that we all need to upload. Talking about the traffic. Mumbai. क्या हुआ? काय झालं आपल्या मुंबईला? The traffic is ever increasing because of parallel routes getting sanctioned at the same time. The civil projects getting sanctioned for parallel routes, talking about, for example, a link road and a highway being under the civil metro construction projects at the same time, which don't need to be sanctioned because that will ease out the traffic on both the routes. Coming on to waterlogging, as we are nearing the monsoon period, we need to think about how to improve the quality of roads. It can be by easily importing some of the high quality technological standards used by foreign countries to get in and check the quality of roads before the monsoon season starts. That is the current period we are in right now. The government of India has also offered some subsidies on the purchase of electric vehicles. But is it actually the purchasing power which is causing problems of people to get in electric vehicles? No, it is the limited resources of charging. So I urge, and it is a dream, to by 2030 to see renowned hotels, local dhabas on the highways, petrol pumps, bus depots to have charging points, so that I, as a citizen, can go to any showroom, buy an electric vehicle, and then go out for a long drive without thinking that, okay, what if my battery dies on the way? Even if it dies, I'll take a halt, I'll grab some snacks, and also I'll charge my vehicle, because the companies are increasing, the companies are giving you resources limited. So then why are we not stepping out there? Also, my conclusion would be, I am not thinking as a citizen to directly compete with international standards such as Singapore, Japan, Korea, US, because we actually do not know what is going on there. Also, I would end by, can the audience do me a favor by pointing one finger towards me? Please, everyone. Can you all do it? Okay. So the majority of your fingers are pointing towards the people who are actually responsible to get this city for where it stands. It's you, it's me, it's everyone. That was me. Thanks a lot.
Good morning. Good morning. Okay, so the jury members and audience alike, before starting, I would like to ask you all a question. Can you all tell me the first word that comes to your mind when you all think of the city Mumbai? Anyone? Sorry? A dream. Anyone else? Jury members? Anyone? Anything? Happy. Lively. Okay, now my speech is going to talk about what I think of Mumbai. Mumbai, the city with major cracks and loopholes, but yet light emerging from every single crevice, with the silent symphony of waves and the sparkle of skyscrapers, beautiful like the night sky, yet emerging into a dawn of tomorrow. Mumbai is my home. And how do I want my home to look? As a political executive, I think there are 5 pillars that uphold the city: education, equality, implementation, and awareness. I would like to talk about these 5 things. And economy, sorry. I would like to talk about these 5 things. Economy. Mumbai being the richest city, yet 57% of people live in one-bedroom flats. And why is that? Our major rent is around 30,000, but salaries around 45. How do you expect someone to have homes and the place that we call our home and still don't have shelter? That's not okay. What we need here is rent controls, extra subsidies, and all of these things extended to the middle class, so that people can grow. And this will not only help in improving the GDP, but also make sure that they reduce poverty-driven crimes. Equality, a dream of an egalitarian world. And as much as I talk about inequality, I won't even be able to scratch the surface on how warped our society is. Wherever you look, inequality cripples our growth, which in turn brings me to my next pillar. We all have heard of Rabindranath Tagore. And what did he say? Where knowledge is free and the world is not broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls. Education and awareness. Now, tell me honestly, we all know that when slums are redeveloped, we all get a permanent housing facility after that. But that's the thing, we know it. Do they know? They don't. That's the problem. We need a committee, a place where they can voice their own opinions, talk about their problems, talk about what problems that they have, like drainage, sewage, lack of shelter, lack of food, electricity, etc. Rehabilitation problems, cut-offs, builder-centric approaches, the MADA problems, and why are people not going back there? because they can't afford the rent, they can't afford the electricity of the other housing facilities that they get. These are what surveys have told us. Now, if we create awareness, that's lovely. But what about our education? Being very bluntly honest, can we say that a person who has been graduated from a top-notch private school or college has the same level of education as that of a public or municipal college? No, we can't. We may have introduced midday meals, which is definitely incredible. But do the poor seriously believe that by sending our kid to school, they will actually get anywhere? No, they don't believe that. And how will we have that when we have good campuses, updated curriculums, good teachers, and facilities of that sort? That's what helps us and makes sure that we can go ahead. Our next thing, inclusion. Our freedom fighters have always spoken about inclusion. However, we need to make sure that we include convicts, especially juvenile convicts who can help turn around the society. And these convicts can make sure that people go ahead even after they have convicted their crimes. My last thing, implementation. Now I would like to talk about what we Indians are very well known for: jugaad, get the key of getting things done, which is commendable. I agree. But what about the parallel coexisting systems that are called jugaad? How can we expect our system, our city, to be running perfectly when there is an alternative that is illegal to everything? And while I understand that it's a far-fetched goal, it would be our duty to implement policies and create trust and equality between the society so that they work as one. And can I end with something that I have written for Mumbai and how I want each and every citizen to feel? With visions that come to life, cherished moments passing by, beautiful sighs under the night sky, whatever in our sight the world throws, in times of heartache, as one, our blood flows. Sorry, in times of heartache, as one, our blood flows. And wherever my mind may wander, my heart knows, back there is where my inner child goes. Thank you.
Hello. Okay, a very good afternoon to everyone. In the first place, I want all of you to answer all of my questions because I am going to say that Mumbai is a city that never sleeps. And if all of you are sleeping here, well, it is going to prove me very, very much wrong. So good afternoon. My name is Brianna Fernandez from HR College, and I will speak as an administrator. How is it that we are sitting silent when a dream of ours is ready to be broken? And it's not just my dream, it's not just your dream, it's our dream, it's Mumbai that I speak of. And today I have a vision for this wonderful dream of ours. The first thing that anyone speaks of or anyone says when they hear the word Mumbai is, yaar, यहाँ पे तो जगह की इतनी कमी है, जगह है ही नहीं, चलने के लिए जगह नहीं, रहने के लिए जगह नहीं. So first, I would like to tackle the issue of space. Space in Mumbai is one of the most important issues. And how do we make this liability an asset? When it comes to tourism, we can use abandoned houses, make them into aesthetic cafes, create Airbnbs out of them. When it comes to transportation, well, all of us are well aware of the fact that Mumbai has bustling traffic. We can use portable theatres. Use these portable theatres and install them in Olas, in Ubers, in rickshaws. This can also give them a source of revenue. Next, coming to space once again, when it comes to industries, all of us don't have space for work. We don't have space for offices. If there's one thing that the pandemic gave us, well, that was the chance to work online. We can create more virtual spaces, tackling the space issue once and for all. If there's one thing that can save us from road accidents at the same time, take us on a road to economic growth, that is industrial corridors. Industrial corridors will not only help bigger vehicles like trailers transport goods and services immediately, but at the same time, it will reduce the risk of road accidents, giving more space to other vehicles for transport. And all of these dreams and visions of mine are pretty much useless if by the year 2050, our city doesn't exist in the first place. It is no new news to anyone here that by the year 2050, our city could drown underwater, as per all scientific reports. Well, we are still a little late, but not too much. We can create environmental zones. We can stop constructions in flood-prone zones. We can create sustainable, self-sustainable neighborhoods, that is, for ourselves. We can switch to greener transportation. We've already started with electronic vehicles. Why not start with green hydrogen transportation as well? That also is an excellent solution that we can definitely look up to. Next, I would like to speak about something that's not directly in the city but outside. SEZs. Anyone heard this term? No? a special economic zone. A special economic zone can be formed outside a city. Does anyone know about what's happening in Hong Kong currently? Anybody here? No? Okay. So in Hong Kong, there is a political upheaval because of which industrialists have to withdraw their industries and they're searching for places. Because by their 2047, nobody's going to accept them. We can welcome these industrialists outside in these special economic zones, help them create environments that are favorable for MSMEs and economic growth. This can also be an area if a town develops there. In case the floods actually come to Mumbai, people can evacuate and stay in these special economic zones. Lastly, I would like to speak about safety. I think one of the students here sang the song, "Ye Dil Hai Mushkil, Zara Bach Ke Rehna, Ye Hai Mumbai Meri Jaan." I don't want people to say "Bach Ke Rehna" in Mumbai. They should be safe. They should feel safe right here. Because definitely we are working towards apps. We have wonderful apps. The Mumbai police has started with the Nirbhaya campaign. We have social media with awareness. But nothing happens without education, without root level education. And I'm not only talking about students, I'm also talking about criminals. After they've committed their crimes, they should know what went wrong and what have been the consequences of their actions. Lastly, I can dream, I can plan, I can ideate. But the execution of my plan will only be a success if you and I believe in the same dream and you support me. So I want all of you to rise for 2 minutes and take a pledge with me, if everyone minds doing so. So if all of you, yes, if all of you could repeat after me. Today, we decide to take Mumbai on a road to economic, social, and environmental liberation. Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra. Thank you.
Youth for Mumbai Speakers Forum Competition 2022 HR कॉलेज ऑफ कॉमर्स एंड इकोनॉमिक्स चर्चगेट ने तो शुरुआत कर दी है. क्या आप एग्री है? जरा जोरदार टाळ्या होऊ द्या कॉलेजसाठी. बसलेल्या ज्युरींना सुद्धा उभं राहायला लावण्याची ताकद आहे या कॉलेजमध्ये. थैंक यू ज्यूरी. कहा भी जाता ना कि ना संघर्ष ना तकलीफ तो क्या मजा है जीने में, ना संघर्ष ना तकलीफ तो क्या मजा है जीने में, मजा तो तब है जीने में जब ये सब्जेक्ट लगा देता है आग आपके सीने में. युथ फॉर मुंबई स्पीकर्स फोरम कॉम्पिटिशन 2022 यानंतर आपण बोलवित आहोत राम नारायण रुईया कॉलेज माटुंगा मुंबई, सिद्धी मयेकर, साक्षी ताडगे आणि भक्ती मुळे.
Hello. Thank you. Multilingual, multi-religious is the city of unusual weather. It gives us the attitude of never say die. It's none other than Amchi Mumbai, my Mumbai. A very good morning. I, Ms. Siddhi Nagesh Mayekar from Ram Narayan Ruya Autonomous College of SYJC Science is very glad to speak on a plan of action for Mumbai of 2030 as a citizen. In 2030, the young and responsible citizen in me will always look forward the reform inches in my Mumbai. In this financial and commercial capital of India, every 1 out of 5 Mumbaikar is below the poverty line. Here one can find roads in the potholes and pools on the roads during monsoon. Here the voices of the patriotic officers like G.R. Khairnar is shut down. For all these problems, citizens and the government blame each other, neglecting its root cause, which is corruption. Right from the houses till the offices, this corruption has got a tight hold over this city. And that's why I want my Mumbai to be corruption-free, which will solve many of these problems. For this, Mumbaikars just need to have simple living and high thinking. In schools, students should be appreciated for their moral values in spite of their marks. This will stop the cheating by the students for the thirst of the marks, which will ultimately end corruption in future. Because for adults, money and for students, marks have been equally important nowadays. Secondly, friends,
On an average, every week, 3 to 4 sanitary workers die while cleaning the clogged gutters. Also in 2019, only 51% of the Mumbaikars casted their vote. Isn't it shameful? When as a citizen we expect the best from the government, it's our responsibility as well to give the best in return. As a citizen, to contribute for our Mumbai's empowerment, we should practice regular voting, trust and cooperate the government, pay taxes on time, follow the traffic rules, critically examine the news coming from mass media, properly dispose the garbage, maintain cleanliness not only in Mumbai but also in Arabian Sea, as the photoplanktons there contribute over 80% of the oxygen to us, etc. If we fail to do such basic duties of a citizen, then the efforts taken by the administrator or the political executive may also go waste. Here, I would also like to highlight the fact that on myneta.com, every politician's educational and other details are made available for us so that we can elect the best candidate. Friends, change begins with me. These small steps as a citizen will definitely make a huge difference in the future of our Mumbai. In my vision of Mumbai 2030, all religiously diverse people will be united together. Here there will be no cat race and everybody will try to be productive at their work. Here these real life superheroes will be more famous than real life superheroes, and here people will have the greed for satisfaction but not for money. At last, always believe in Swasmai Swalpam Samajaya Sarvasvam, meaning a little bit for yourself and everything for others. Thank you. Jai Hind.
मी बिना माईक घेता बोलला तरी तुम्हाला आवाज येईल, लास्ट पर्यंत आवाज येतोय? नमस्कार. सदनक्षराय खलनिग्रणाय. You all must have come across these words very often in movies or in advertisements. These two immensely powerful words is the commitment of our honorable Maharashtra police towards protecting the righteous and controlling and annihilating the evil. They say with great power comes even greater responsibility. On this note, I, Ms. Sakshi Somnath Tage, a TITA student of Ramnarayan Ruya Autonomous College, feels immensely honored to be standing in front of you all and speaking on the topic which I have always aspired for, my vision of Mumbai 2030. If given a chance to serve in a higher capacity, for me it would be in the police department, as the Commissioner of Mumbai Police. For a simple reason being, if the society is a human body, then the police department is the heart of that body. And I salute to all the 21 lakh police officers in our country, because without this inseparable organ, there would be lawlessness and disharmony in the country. Often when I speak these two words, looking at myself, it gives me whole another level of spirit to actually do something for people, rather than wait till the day till I wear their uniform. Also, not just abiding by the oath of allegiance to the Constitution of India, but also doing right by the uniform is equally important. Ensuring effective practice of 5 principles of good governance, that is participation, accountability, transparency, rule of law, and responsiveness. These 5 fingers contribute into making a powerful fist which is capable enough for the betterment of our society. I want to change the perspective of people about the police department. They are not your enemy but your friends. In simpler words, it should be faith over fear and not vice versa. With increasing level of public transport projects like underground metro transit system, which has been constructed from 10 years now, and coastal road projects, which have been constructed for 4 years now, a lot of inconvenience that people have been shown. For that, I propose that separate lanes for emergency vehicles like ambulance and odd even formula of Delhi can be applied. Also, with increasing level of population and development of Mumbai, 3 major problems have been arised: poor sanitation, poor housing facilities, and lack of clean drinking water facilities. In my official capacity, I will ensure that houses have been allocated to the beneficiaries and transparency of the builder's lobby. A special attention must be given to children, women, and senior citizens in our society, for which several Jan Samparka Kendra can be set up where they can register their complaints easily, thus changing the notion from people that sarkari hamara veil lagtoch. Lastly, I'd like to say, from police department's point of view, we don't want your fines or punishment for people. What we really want is your safety and well-being. I'd like to end with reciting a shloka. Jivitana maranam shreshta paropakruti varjitata. Jivitana maranam shreshta paropakruti varjitata. Maranam jivitam manye yata paropakrutiksham. Which means death is better than life without service. And a person who is capable of doing selfless service, I consider that death also as life. Jai Hind.
Hello. Our constitution is like a ray of hope. H for harmony, O for opportunity, P for people's participation, and E for equality. And the work of making all these things available to the citizen is the work of a politician. Good morning, one and all. I, Ms. Bhakti Rajendra Renukamoe from Ramnaran Ria Autonomous College, would like to highlight what good modifications would I, as a mayor of our city Mumbai, would like to do regarding the Mumbai Vision 2030 plan. A mayor is a first citizen of the city. A mayor's or a politician's duty in the overall functioning of the city is very important. We, as Mumbaikars, face several problems, right from the struggle to get into a highly crowded local train to spending hours and hours in the traffic jams. So, living in Mumbai is like a challenge to face every day. Some of the major challenges faced by Mumbaikars is a growth of slums. About 55% of the residents of Mumbai live in slums. Again comes the problem of pollution, the problem of sanitation due to improper waste management. The beaches of Mumbai are flooded with garbage and plastic. And all these problems can be solved by having a positive approach towards them. Rebuilding the slums, which would help in giving those people appropriate houses to live. We must ensure that there is weekly or monthly cleaning of beaches. We must ensure that there's a proper waste management system to solve the problem of sanitation. And all this would help in maintaining cleanliness in the city. Also, as a mayor, I would promote clean and green Mumbai by making sure that electric vehicles and renewables are used. I would also look into the matter that the construction work of coastal roads and metros are completed as soon as possible so that the problem of traffic congestion is prevented. As Mumbai has the only Meethi Nadi, so keeping it meaty, that is keeping it clean and pure, is also very important. I would like to invest in the high level infrastructures of all sectors for ease of living. And all this can be done by limited government and maximum governance. Also, the problem of population is increasing day by day. So having a proper planning to solve this problem is also very important. Mumbai is covered all over by water, so the threat of getting submerged is always high on Mumbai. The increased amount of global warming, which leads to melting of glaciers and which eventually leads to the increase in the sea level of water. According to a report, it was said that Mumbai experienced 3.7 millimeter of rise in the sea level every year between 2006 to 2018. So this is a very serious problem, and this can be avoided by having a proper drainage system which is clean and well functioning. Also, every Mumbaiker should be given a proper guidance of disaster management so that everyone are prepared. We as Mumbaikars should come together and help our city grow in true sense. For that, we must be a good citizen first, because a good citizen can only be a good politician or a good administrator. A politician should only and only focus on the well development and enhancement of the city. Lastly, I would like to conclude my speech by these few lines. माना दिल में संदेह है, माना दिल संदिग्ध है, पर निकाल दो इसे, क्योंकि न ये तुम्हारी है, न हमारी है, न इनकी है, न उनकी है, ये हम सब की मुंबई है, और मिलकर संभालना होगा हमें इसे. थैंक यू. जय हिंद.
या ठिकाणी रामनारायण रुईया कॉलेज माटुंगा मुंबई, सिद्धी, साक्षी आणि भक्ती यांनी आपले विचार मांडलेले आहेत. यानंतर के.जे. सोमय्या कॉलेज ऑफ आर्ट्स अँड कॉमर्स, सुमित रहेजा, युवराज सिंग आणि एलिटा सुनील हे 3 विद्यार्थी येणार आहेत.
Namaste everyone. Special greetings to the jury, respected police officers, and all the respected teachers and student friends over here. Myself, Sumit Raheja from KJ Somaya College of Arts and Commerce, present over here to express my vision as a youth for Mumbai 2030. Hello, namaste, hola amigos, and kasakai. All such beautiful words and their atypical diversity define the true spirit and nature of the city of dreams, Mumbai, often referred as Amchi Mumbai. Youth are always and certainly believed to be at the forefront of global and national development, modernization, and upgrading. All of the efforts are being taken not just by the youth, but by the people who bring them up. So, as a youth of the Mumbai and as a youth of the world, we all are deeply connected with the different standards and levels of expectations. I, as a youth of Mumbai, also optimistically carry an inclusive vision for my city in 2030. My vision is number one, infrastructure. Infrastructure is more important than architecture. A quote by Rem Koolhaas clearly states the importance of infrastructure. I believe that cities' infrastructure needs to be improved in two ways. Number one, being health. We recently got through a pandemic, and a recent data also shows that there are only 54 doctors over 10,000 people in this metropolitan city. Isn't that data scary? So to get above that, we must ensure that there are ample number of amount of doctors available over people. Also, beds and equipment should be provided at all the government hospitals. Now, when it comes to tourism, people from within India and foreign countries keep visiting Mumbai for a lot of reasons. So, to compete that, we must build help and maintenance centers, photographers, guidance sessions, and more attractive spots so that the tourism GDP whole should increase. My next point is that the full-fledged implementation of NEP should happen in all parts of Mumbai, since this policy has came up after more than 50 years. Next point, which I would like to carry forward, is equality. By equality, I just don't need a single gender. It means men, women, and also the LGBTAIQ plus community. I expect a policy support, a legislative policy support, and also education and awareness of all sorts in that sense. Next point, which I would like to keep forward as a youth, is mental health. We all face extreme stress, depression, anxiety, and fail to even speak to someone that what we are feeling. So I expect that different dedicated centers are open in Mumbai to help youth grow out of their minds and live in the world. My next point is the national plan to convert all the fuel-based vehicles into the electric vehicles must be implemented with the immediate effect. And also, the lifeline of a Mumbai should be made better. So, thereby, I truly envision Mumbai shines with rainbows and unicorns. Thank you, everyone.
Hello everyone, greetings to the jury. I Yuvraj Singh. Would like to present my vision for the Mumbai City 2030 from an administrative perspective. Mumbai, today the financial and commercial capital of India, is one of the greatest city in the world. It is rightly called as the city that never sleeps. Mumbai is at present contributing 6.32% of total GDP and is soon presumed to become New York or Shanghai, most developed cities in the world. But are we really on the path of that? Pollution. Mumbai ranks 37 in most polluted city in India. To overcome this, we must encourage public participation because BMC alone cannot take care of all the waste in the city. Sands on the beaches of Mumbai are barely visible anymore. This is because of waste everywhere. So organizations like Beach Warriors needs to be increased, which led BMC a helping hand. It has been also observed that people are coming on individual level, cleaning up roads while jogging. It is known as plugging. Plugging should become a more commonly known concept in India. Electric vehicles have came to rescue us in the era of horrible air quality and depletion of natural resources such as petrol and diesel. To make electric vehicle a grand success, electric vehicle charging points needs to be developed on each and every petrol pump, and batteries of electric vehicles needs to be recycled and reused just like Tesla motors. Mumbai should also launch some campaigns such as Switch Delhi. I, as an administrator, would appoint a committee which regulates the price of daily essential goods. So, to make it available to poor. About privatization and globalization in the fields of education. So it's my duty as a government official that public school should be bought in par with private in terms of infrastructure and quality of education. The quality education is the basic need of each and every individual, be it poor. Sports should be made a significant part of education. Industries are shifting from Mumbai to other states. This is because of lack of place for industrial development. So Mumbai should start helping its neighboring places such as Thane, Kalyan, etc. to build new IT parks through which employment will generate and Mumbaikars will also get good job opportunity. Being a heart of how Mumbai functions, the railway services needs to be improved. Cameras should be installed Fines should be charged. Potholes should be repaired instantly, and drainage should be covered properly. Public hospital should have all the facilities present in private hospital. Due to above all mentioned factors, the happiness score of Mumbai is 84 out of 100. As we all move to fix this, the quality of life will improve and so will be the happiness score. The development of Mumbai lies in upholding of peace and respecting diversity. People should be respected the way they deserve, and in return they will respect law the same. As a citizen of a country, Mumbaikars should not only enjoy the rights given by the government but also should play their fundamental duties assigned by the government. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra.
A very, very good afternoon to one and all present here. I, Elita Sunil, would be speaking about the expectations from a political leader on the topic Youth's Vision for Mumbai 2030. Julian Sands once said, "The thing about Mumbai is that you go 5 yards and all of human existence is revealed. It is an incredible cavalcade of life, and I love that." Mumbai, the city of dreams, from being the financial capital of India to being home to Bollywood, primary scientific and nuclear institutes, and to so many more incredible things, is a city that signifies beauty, chaos, and peace at the same time, modernity, but still cherishes the normality. A dream Mumbai in 10 years would be a Mumbai where infrastructural development and biodiversity go hand in hand, where we have fresh air, clean water, cleaner beaches and hills, better garbage disposal system, and where we can stargaze from the comfort of our own homes. The high population Mumbai often puts constraints on the public transportation systems. I, as an office holder, needs to put my time and finance into the local train system, avoid mega blocks in the schedules, and improve the BST bus facilities by providing properly timed buses that run on a routine, which are displayed on the bus stands, provide help desk at bus stands, computerize the whole system, and also increase the production of electric buses. This will definitely reduce the number of private vehicles on the streets and hence reduce traffic and pollution. A hope for 2030 Mumbai is for it to uplift sex workers. We need better laws to protect them and their children and safeguard their self esteem. Women's safety is actually at a good condition in Mumbai right now, thanks to the Mumbai police. But we need to heavily advertise the public helplines. The people need to know that help is just one dial away, and not just the women, but the men and the non binary folks too. Another dream I have for Mumbai in 2030 is for it to be free of drugs. There needs to be more and better recovery programs, actual checkups that are being held after a rehab treatment is over, and information related to the same should be as easily available as drugs is in current times. By 2030, the elderly population is only going to increase, and they are not up to date with the current tech, let alone the ones that are going to come in the next 10 years. Banks, railway stations, corporate places, everywhere you look, there is an aged person in need of help. We need to assign people at such locations so that the help can be extended to them if they need it. Social media is such a great tool in today's time and age, but it's such a shame the amount of people that face abuse on it regularly. Most cybercrimes are only punishable up to 3 or 7 years in prison, which I don't think is enough. There needs to be better, stricter, and standard guidelines to deal with cyberbullying like there are for other crimes. Mumbai could be called a paradox. It is so contrasting in its own ways. There are multitudes of changes that could be brought by 2030 from my side as a politician, and I hope to see them soon. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
यानंतर RD नॅशनल कॉलेज बँड्रा वेस्ट शुभम जयस्वार, चित्रा खानोलकर आणि अवंतिका पाठक.
Good afternoon to all the respected officers and dignitaries present here. My name is Shubham Jaiswal. I'm the student of third year of BCom Accounting and Finance, pursuing from RD National College, Bandra. In the precious words of the renowned personality, good governance depends on the ability to take responsibility by both administration as well as the people. Therefore, it is always a two-way process. If I'll be getting an opportunity to be the administrative officer, I would love to serve as the chief minister. I'll be emphasizing more on the following matters which requires utmost attention. The first and foremost, as per the article published in the Times of India, nearly 30% of deaths in India are caused due to delayed ambulances. That's not all. As per Hindustan Times, more than 50% of heart attack cases are getting delayed treatment, which is in turn causing a death. Therefore, these challenges can be tackled by the way of creating ambulance-specific roadways connecting to the hospitals without disturbing other routes. Next. As per the article published in the Free Press Journal, Mumbai has secured first rank in terms of road accidents by recording 8,768 road accident cases in the entire region of Maharashtra for the year 2022, commencing from January to April. This is due to the poor road condition, drainage, construction which is happening on the roads, and ongoing metro projects. Therefore, I'll be emphasizing more on the construction of proper roadways considering the potholes. Many a times it is seen that due to certain lucrative facilities, some government employees are diminishing their level of dedication and attention towards the work accomplishment. Even the service delivery and the way of communication is getting deteriorated in some or the other way. Therefore, I would love to bring in certain amendments to the policies in regards to warning as well as termination letter for all those employees who lacks in the same condition. Along with that, I would love to appeal to the Government of India to bring in performance-oriented appraisals as we have it in the private sector. Next. In the entire political system of India, there is no retirement age for the politicians as we have it for other servicemen. Servicemen are physically as well as mentally fit, but are forced to retire at a certain age. When it comes to politicians, there is no retirement age at all. Therefore, I would love to appeal to the Government of India to bring in certain policies in regards to the retirement age for the same, so as to bring equality for all. Next. As per the statistics of Central Adoption Resource Authority, that is CARA, there has been a significant downfall in the child adoption in India over a decade. And the situation is getting even more adverse when it comes to the post-pandemic era. This is due to the delayed procedure of the child adoption as well as the complexities involved in the same. Therefore, simplification of the process would be my utmost objective, through which numerous children will get a home with secured future. Following are the pointers which I have explained in a nutshell. Please have a look. At last, I would like to conclude by saying that let's work upon building a nation-friendly administration considering every challenging matter for a better tomorrow. Thank you.
Mumbai is a land of dream for every global citizen. It is known as Amchi Mumbai and blossoms into India's financial capital. I am Chitra Kharalkar from RD National College. As a Mumbai citizen, I am in agreement with 6 indicators that will make my dream city of 2030 a reality. First is cyber security. Cyber security will be a top priority for me in 2030. Staying smart with cyber will make a great start to make the local and state government to prioritize cyber security. Digital threats like cyber terrorism, data breaches will continue to grow in future. So we have to pull our socks and spread awareness about cyber security as well as cyberbullying. Next will be introduction of technology into the education system. Students must be taught about technology right in the early years, like 3rd or 5th standard of their education, which will also including a technological subject should be mandatory and not optional, because it will be more informative and exciting for students to come to school every day. Next will be proper sanitization of public toilet. As per a small survey by Pinky Foundation, it is found that 90% of women avoid going to public washrooms. Don't you feel all the respected ladies here that it is? I do so. So it is important that there should be a proper availability of sanitary pads in every public toilet. Also, as a citizen, I believe that it is not only the responsibility of cleanliness worker, but also a responsibility of every woman to know her personal hygiene and keep the toilet clean after using them. Next will be crowd control at railway stations. reforms for incoming trade at last moment. And as we know that Mumbai local is the lifeline of all Mumbaikars, that over 3.7 million passengers travel every day. So during monsoon, there should be special measures to keep the entries and exit clear. And it will also help to avoid the incidents like Elphiston Stampede Road, which could have been avoided. There should be also a faster development of metro and railway infrastructure. Next will be pedestrian footpaths should be broadened enough to make sure that all the physically challenged with wheelchair can move easily without any help from others. Also, a cycling track should be introduced so that it will avoid accident and it will be eco-friendly for nature and as well as health-friendly for all human beings. Also, this should be included in the vision of government that it will boost the environmental sustainability of Mumbai to a great extent. Next will be shelter for beggars. As per a small survey by BMC in 2020, there are nearly 29,000 beggars in our city. More shelters should be provided them like the one in Kandivali. Therefore, these beggars should also be turned into skilled and unskilled labor force like shoe shine workers, green grocers, car washers, plumbers, etc. once the origin is scrutinized. Please have a look at the highlight as a citizen in a nutshell. Lastly, I would like to conclude with a great quote by Nelson Mandela. A nation should not be judged by how it treats its highest citizen, but its lowest one. Thank you.
Vision Mumbai, a city that never sleeps. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Avantika Patel, and I'm a second-year student of BCom in Accounting and Finance from IB National College, which is one of the most reputed colleges of the HSNC board, Mumbai University. So, firstly, elected representatives are the most important link between the administrators and the people. In modern democracy, administration cannot run without the political activists. So, if I were to be a politician in 2030 in Mumbai, my very first aim would be to erase this ugly notion out of the minds of the people that politics is not needed or it's not the need of the hour because it's ugly. Second, qualification and digital education for politicians. As all the other designations in India, like doctorate, engineering, require proper qualifications, I will personally see to it that being a politician also requires certain qualification and criteria based on which the representatives will be elected. Third, dignity of common man. I am a politician, so my prime motive should be to serve the common man of our country and to provide them equal opportunities and protection. Justice should be accessible to all of you present here, and not just one. It shouldn't be mockery in the hands of the higher sectors of the society. Next, changing currency. Speaking about India, currency is also a very broad aspect. Have you ever noticed the currencies of, say, Germany, America, New Zealand? On each currency, there is a different picture of a great leader who has fought for the nation till death. But it is very disheartening that when it comes to India, only one great Indian leader's picture has been printed on all the currencies. And with due respect, he is none other than Mahatma Gandhi, the father of our nation. So, I will pass the law to the RBI to print pictures of all the great Indian leaders, revolutionaries and reformers on each currency of our country. Next, building reform-oriented jails. Currently in India, the jails are punishment-oriented, but they should be reform-oriented so that even if the prisoners enter, they have a negative mindset. But when they leave, they have a positive attitude and new skills to practice. Lastly, unreasonable perks and privileges of politicians. Don't you think it is too much for them to consume? Honestly speaking, it further leads to malpractices and corruption. It's very true. So, I will personally see to it that being a politician is a service and not an authority to rule. Please have a look at the highlights that I spoke as a politician. Lastly, I'd like to conclude with the most famous quote by Winston Churchill that politics is not a game, it is a serious business. As citizens, be the change you wish to see in the society. And as a youth, we wish to pursue the same. Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra.
आरडी नेशनल कॉलेज बैंड्रा वेस्ट, शुभम, चित्रा, अवंतिका, जरा जोरदार तालियां होनी चाहिए। भाई कहा जाता है कि इस दुनिया में आपको कुछ पाना है, कुछ ऐसा पाना है जो अब तक किसी ने नहीं पाया, तो आपको कुछ ऐसा करना होगा जो कभी किसी ने नहीं किया है। आरडी नेशनल कॉलेज बँड्रा वेस्ट, आपने बहुत कुछ अलग किया है। पुन्हा एकदा जरा जोरदार टाळ्या होऊ द्या। आणि यानंतर नागिनदास खांडावाला डिग्री कॉलेज, मालाड वेस्ट, मुंबई, स्मृती पुनतांबेकर, हार्षी अंतिया आणि मानसी शुक्ला, जोरदार टाळ्या होऊ द्या। नागिनदास खांडावाला डिग्री कॉलेज, मालाड वेस्ट, मुंबई।
Am I audible? Yeah. Okay. Can I start? Can I start? Yeah. Okay. Bureaucracy is not an obstacle in democracy, but it is an inevitable component to it, rightly said by Joseph Scumter. Good afternoon to everyone present over here. This is Smruti Sachin Puntambekar from Nagindas Khandwala College, and I'm here to state my views and opinions on the topic Mumbai Vision 2030 as a bureaucrat or an administrator. Firstly, whenever we talk about Mumbai, we always say or read news articles saying Mumbai is going to become the next Shanghai. Mumbai is going to become the next Tokyo. But why do we need all this? When we track one's success or progress, we should look at their past experiences and see that definitely we have become a better version of ourselves. So the primary value that needs to be instilled among the people is believing in yourself. Problems that really need to be taken into consideration are that of slum rehabilitation. Not just picking up the slums, putting them into high-rise buildings and expecting them to live a good standard of life. No, slowly and steadily upgrading their quality of life should be our primary concern. Similarly, as a bureaucrat, I'll definitely make sure that any document that comes on my table will not be passed ahead, which involves cutting down of the mangrove forest and construction of high-rise buildings, because protecting our natural resources should be our primary concern. Similarly, banning the plastic and replacing it with paper bags or cloth bags should also be taken into consideration, because this will also give a boost to our cottage industries. Similarly, like our natural resources, we also need to take care of our assets. And by this, I'm saying not our monuments or our heritage, but I'm also talking about our senior citizens. These are the people who have really worked hard and all have been born and brought up over here. So it is very difficult for them to adjust into old age homes that are in Palghar and Vasai. So construction of old age homes in the city should be our primary concern, and providing of public health facilities as well as concession on food for them specially. When I talk about Mumbai police, I would like to say that they should definitely be provided with extra amount of arms and ammunitions, because a lathi against an AK-47 was definitely not a fair game. Similarly, construction of hoverboards and signboards should be done on the entire city, because all the tourists who come in the city have to go through Google Maps, and that is not right. So city maps at railway stations, highways, SV roads should be regularly done. Lastly, I would like to say that when we talk about this a city in general, we should make sure that there is equality, and not just saying that you should do this or do that, but providing suggestion is also a concern. So as a bureaucrat, I would like to provide a suggestion. In the railways, we have always seen Mumbai police guarding the railways late at night in the women's dabba as well as the gents dabba. Now, when this job can be switched and given to the third gender people and make them as defense warriors, we definitely provide them with a job, as well as make the Mumbai police rest in, take a rest during the night time. And because these third gender people are always begging in the railway lines, and that is not right, because just saying that they should be given job opportunities, and that is not possible. They should, they don't have money to take education, so how is that possible? Lastly, we are definitely going to advance technologically and infrastructurally, but या सगळ्यांसोबतच आपण आपली परंपरा आणि संस्कृती विसरू नये. म्हणूनच आपली संस्कृती हे सांगते की पाण्याची कोणाला उणीव भासू नये. ठिकठिकाणी पाण्याची व्यवस्था केली पाहिजे, ज्याच्यासाठी पक्षी आणि पशु पक्षी आणि माणूस कोणालाच पाण्याची उणीव भासू नये. थँक्यू.
Good afternoon to one and all present over here. As my friend spoke as a bureaucrat, I am going to speak as a political leader in 2030. The main difference between a bureaucrat and a political leader is bureaucrat worries about the process, while a political leader worries about the result. Since childhood, we all have heard about a word called democracy, which means rule of people, for the people, by the people. But I, as a political leader, won't be ruling our city. Instead, I will develop our city. Talking about the development of our city, we all know that Mumbai is a metropolitan city, but by the end of 2030, it will be a tech-savvy city. On and around, there are 28 million people living in our city, from which 22 to 25 million people will be using the latest technology in their daily lifestyles. I, as a political leader, also want to become a best problem solver for the residents of my city so that they can live here happily. Solutions to problem is a way to develop our city. There are lot many problems such as traffic congestions, increase in pollutions, water facilities, and a lot more. But I, as a political leader, will solve each and every problem so that the people in Mumbai can live here happily and they can live here happily. Think about the safety of nature so that nature can save us in future. Taking into the consideration of nature, we will sell the e-vehicles at the cheapest rates so that people can afford it and travel easily. And we will also increase the transportation facilities so that the people can travel happily and without wasting their times. Key to knowledge is education. There would be a slight change in our education system, which is admissions would be based on equality and not on caste discrimination. And also, there would be donations would be given to the poor kids so that they can educate themselves. We all have heard about a problem that is waste management, but we can get rid of it along with few other problems such as water problems, increase in pollution and cleanliness by just following three ways, that is recycle, reuse and wet waste. Furthermore, I would like to conclude myself by saying that each and every political leader had a vision for our city, but they knew that it would be only possible if there would be togetherness within us. I feel privileged to stand here and follow that dream. Thank you.
Am I audible? Thank you. Maya Nagri, सपनों का दरवाजा, रोटी खाने का जरिया. Mumbai has a charm which builds the whole community of diversity. I am Mansi Shukla from Nagindas Khandwala College. Will be speaking on my viewpoint of Mumbai in 2030 as an Aam Aadmi. Mumbai is the most developed cities in India. It is as well the financial capital of India. Due to its high population, Mumbai needs the very best of transportation system. After all, 80% of Mumbaikars travel locally. Making sure that each mode has the ability to consume less time of citizens while also providing comfort is the very need of an hour. After all, I want to see my Mumbai where each and everybody travels locally and are comfortable with the service. Small roads and thousands of people are traveling through it has been the topmost reason for traffic in Mumbai. Building big roads and also fixing potholes should be the topmost priority, which will decrease the accidents and traffic in Mumbai. People all over India come to Mumbai for education purposes, as Mumbai provides the best education experience and also we respect and culture each and everything. We also provide best learning experience with honorable degrees and certificates. Not to forget, we also initiate talents and give platform to them. So Mumbai is already great for learning aspects. But by making this pillar much stronger with student-friendly aids and loans, will just make Mumbai globally desirable. Right? Pollution. It is very much common for for a city having so many people. But having a goal to plant as many trees as possible and also make sure that each and everyone travels locally will be a good aspect to see upon. Road widening missions I have spoke about, but let's talk about drainage problem. Good drainage system should be implemented as Mumbai experiences heavy rainfall each monsoon. Water connectivity. Mumbai is blessed with water availability. However, we should also focus on good management of water for those people who are facing water scarcity in Mumbai. Media. I have right to speech, but I would like to add I even have right to honesty. I want my media to be free from paid and fake news. I don't want media to promote politicians and businessmen. I want them to serve the truth in front of me. Migration crisis. People all over India come to Mumbai for work purpose. However, they don't have proper place to stay, food to eat, hygiene facility, healthcare facilities. We should work on migration facilities where with least rent asked, we should give them everything to migrators till they can help themselves for their living. Last but not least, citizen, government and local bodies should work together. Citizens should always respect what is imposed on them and government should make sure all those policies are citizen friendly. Thank you.
युथ फॉर मुंबई स्पीकर फोरम कॉम्पिटिशन 2022. मित्र हो, असं म्हटलं जातं की विचार असे मांडा की तुमचे विचार मांडल्यानंतर विचार करावा लागेल. 5 शालेय आणि महाविद्यालयीन विद्यार्थ्यांनी 5 शाळा आणि 5 कॉलेजेस यामधील विद्यार्थ्यांनी आपले विचार मांडलेले आहेत. अत्तराच्या दुकानात गेलात, अत्तर घेतलं काय आणि नाही घेतलं काय, मन सुगंधित होऊन जातं. तसंच या विद्यार्थ्यांनी जे विचार मांडलेले आहेत, 2030 चा जो विजन आहे तो सुगंधित असणारा याची खात्री मिळालेली आहे. पुन्हा एकदा या सगळ्या विद्यार्थ्यांसाठी जोरदार टाळ्या होऊ द्या. खूपच छान विचार मांडलेले आहेत. प्रत्येकाने आपापले विचार मांडलेले आहेत. नागरिक दृष्टिकोन, राजकीय दृष्टिकोन आणि प्रशासकीय दृष्टिकोन. यानंतर आपण युथ फॉर मुंबई स्पीकर्स फोरम कॉम्पिटिशन 2022 इंडिव्हिज्युअल पार्टिसिपेंट्स आहेत. मुंबई बीएड कॉलेज फॉर वुमेन फोरम विनोद हरिया यांना आपण बोलावित आहोत. फोरम विनोद हरिया आणि त्यानंतर असणार आहेत पीव्हीजी विद्याभवन हायस्कूल घाटकोपर मुंबई कोमल तुषार तोत्रे.
A very good afternoon to one and all present here, the jury members and my co-participants. Myself, Forum Haria, representing Mumbai B.Ed College for Women. I'll be talking today about Mumbai Vision 2030 from the perspective of a political leader, as an administrator, and a citizen. My first topic is a political leader. We as political leaders expect individuals to be their own leaders, to take charge of their decisions and assume responsibility for their lives. But when individuals group together, a problem arises. Groups can't take charge of themselves alone. Somewhere an issue may create. So someone from the group is asked to be the primary agent and to lead the people. We as political leaders do the same thing. We guide you and expect you to follow the path. This is a simple fact that groups can't do without leaders. Every sporting team has a captain. A company has its CEO. Schools and colleges have their principals. And similarly, the governments have their presidents, prime ministers, and so on. Not every person who owns a high office is a leader. A political leader comes into force by the citizens from the system of voting. Me, as a future political leader, would like to ensure and highlight major points that I would take into consideration to reduce the n number of crimes, illegal activities, hoarding of goods and services, pollution, corruption, and many other demeaning activities happening in my city. To reduce pollution, I would like to take several cleanliness drives to educate people about how waste can be used as a good purpose. We can decompose them as fertilizers. We can start organic farming in our own locality nearby our gardens. We can ask schools to develop organized workshops and educate students to take steps for farming and to take their steps as students and to educate people who don't know about this stuff. I would like to introduce more formal rules at the workplace because women are the most unsafest people when it comes to working at a place. They have been harassed, molested, and face so many issues from their own co-workers, their male bosses. They demotivate them. They are the people who think that women are just Katputli of our hand. We can ask them to do whatever we can because the power is in our hands. My next point would be as an administrator. The most important priority for me as an administrator would be to reduce the crime rates happening in our city. For this, my first step would be to include safety for women and children, to organize self-defense workshops and teach them to be their own leaders and save their lives as warriors and survivors, to take every crucial step to protect their lives, just not seek help, just not shout or lower their voice, to raise their voice. We are the women. Women empowerment is also one of the major issues that I would take into consideration as an administrator. My next step would be to reduce pollution, to organize cleanliness drives on weekends, create workshops, and inform people about the importance of clean and sanitation facilities around our city. The next would be to increase education facilities. We have often seen that people from slum areas, children from slum areas, do all is beg on the roads, stations, and many other platforms. For them, they don't know what is education, the importance of education. I would like to provide basic facilities and necessities for them, such as books, pens, pencils, because they don't have money. So how will they do it? How will they buy them? As a citizen, we as the citizens of India are the most diplomatic people. When it comes to fight for our rules, we become the most disciplined ones. But when it comes to follow and abide by them, we just don't care. We litter around the public places, gardens, places of historical importance, just as we don't care. No, it is our property. It is a prime duty to save it, to keep it clean. But we just don't care. We just throw. अरे इतना सारा कचरा पड़ा है, अगर मैंने थोड़ा फेंक दिया तो क्या ही फर्क पड़ जाएगा? एक इंसान के सोचने से बहुत फर्क पड़ता है. I would like people to understand the importance that yes, you can make a change. It is not necessary for everyone to come together. If you are doing it, other people are also going to follow. But if you stop yourself and if you educate others, then even people will also take things into consideration. We often we have small kids around in our neighborhood, at our own houses. If you are doing something, they'll try to imitate you. Similarly, if you throw garbage or if you do wrong things in the city, people are going to imitate you. You have to seek yourself as a role model. You have to set yourself as a role model for the people who are watching around you. So I would like to conclude my speech and I would like to say a quote. ताली कभी एक हाथ से नहीं बजती. So it is not only a duty of a political leader or an administrator to follow, because not a single person can make a change. We can join hands together to make a change. Thank you.
मुंबई मेरी जान, मुंबई मेरी शान, मुंबई मेरा अभिमान, मुंबई मेरा प्राण. हाडाच्या मुंबईकराप्रमाणेच माझेही माझ्या मुंबईवर आतोनात प्रेम आहे. मुंबई महाराष्ट्राची राजधानी, भारताची आर्थिक राजधानी. असं म्हणतात की इथे कोणीच उपाशी राहत नाही. इथे येऊन अनेकांची स्वप्न पूर्ण झाली. म्हणूनच माझी मुंबई ही एक आदर्श शहर झालीच पाहिजे आणि यासाठी एक IPS अधिकारी म्हणून मी खूप काही करू शकते. आपल्या देशात 18 वर्षाच्या तरुणापासून ते वयोवृद्ध जीर्ण नागरिकांपर्यंत सर्वांकडून मतदान करून घेतले जाते. मतदान हा तुमचा मूलभूत हक्क आहे अशी जनजागृती सर्वतोपरी केली जाते. पण त्याचबरोबर किमान 10% तक्रार निवारण्याची संधी जर आपण सामान्य नागरिकांना दिली तर प्रशासनाला याचा खूप फायदा होऊ शकतो. जिल्हाधिकाऱ्यांची भेट आणि तुमच्या समस्या अशी संकल्पना जर आपण काढली आणि सामान्य नागरिकांच्या समस्या जिल्हाधिकाऱ्यांवरती मांडण्याची त्यांना संधी दिली तर आपले प्रशासन आणखी सुधरू शकते. सामान्य नागरिक, लोकप्रतिनिधी आणि प्रशासकीय अधिकारी यांच्यातील दरी कमी होऊन आपण त्यांच्यातील संबंध वाढवू शकतो व अत्याधुनिक सुविधांचा योग्य प्रकारे लाभ करून घेऊ शकतो. आता आपण सर्वांनीच पाहिलं कोरोना काळात हॉस्पिटलची कशी धांदल उडालेली. त्यासाठी मी प्रत्येक स्वतंत्र वॉर्डसाठी असे स्वतंत्र असे एक सरकारी हॉस्पिटल व एक प्रशस्त अशी सरकारी लॅब जिथे सर्व चाचण्या माफक दरात होतील आणि कोणालाही उपचाराविना हालअपेष्टा सहन कराव्या लागणार नाहीत. आपण असं बघतो की प्राथमिक शिक्षणासाठी सरकारी शाळांना कानाडोळा तर उच्च शिक्षणासाठी सरकारी महाविद्यालयांना झुंबड उडालेली दिसते. हे असं का? मी अशी तफावत न ठेवता उच्च दर्जाचे शिक्षण सर्वांपर्यंत पोहोचवेल. सर्वांना ते उच्च दर्जाचे शिक्षण सरकारी शाळांमध्येच मिळेल आणि मी राष्ट्रभक्तीची ओढ देखील त्यांच्या मनात निर्माण करेल. म्हणजे मोठे होऊन उच्च शिक्षित होऊन दुसऱ्या देशात त्या देशाच्या अर्थव्यवस्थेला हातभार न लावता ते स्वतःच्या देशाच्या प्रगतीत हातभार लावू शकतील. आपण असं बघतो की फुटपाथ हे लोकांना चालायसाठी असते पण तिथे भाजीवाले, फळवाले स्टॉल लावून अतिक्रमण करून बसतात. त्यामुळे पुन्हा ट्रॅफिक जॅमची समस्या उत्पन्न होते. मी त्यांच्यासाठी योग्य अशी मंडईची व्यवस्था करेन म्हणजे त्यांच्यामुळे होणारे ट्रॅफिक आपण कमी करू शकतो. आपण बघतो की रस्त्याच्या दुतर्फा झाडे नाही तर पार्किंग केलेली असते त्यामुळे पुन्हा ट्रॅफिक जॅमची समस्या निर्माण होते. मी प्रत्येक इमारतीसाठी बहुमजली असे वाहनतळ उभे करेल म्हणजे आपल्याला त्यामुळे होणारी ट्रॅफिकही कमी करता येईल. आता आपण सगळीकडेच असे बघतो मुंबईत कित्येक अवैध बांधकामे होतात. कोणीही कुठेही कसेही बांधकाम सुरू करतो. आपल्या मुंबईला एक सुनियोजित टाउन प्लॅनिंगची गरज आहे. मुंबई ही एक हरित आणि सुंदर असे बेट आहे. तिला सिमेंटचे जंगल न बनू देता किंवा तिला रस्त्यात खड्डे आहे की खड्ड्यात रस्ते अशी त्या मुंबईची खिल्ली न उडवता तिला शांघाय न बनवता मी एक आदर्श शहर बनवण्याचे प्रयत्न करेन. आपल्या मुंबईतील वाढत्या प्रदूषण लेवल ज्यामुळे आपल्याला मोकळा श्वास घेण्यासाठी 2 दिवसाची जरी सुट्टी लागली तरी मुंबई बाहेर जावे लागते. हे कमी करून मी आपल्या मुंबईला एक पर्यटन स्थळ, एक स्वच्छ हवा असलेली अशी जागा बनवण्याचे प्रयत्न करेन. मुंबईत खूप साऱ्या सुखसुविधा आहेत पण त्याचबरोबर अस्वच्छता, भ्रष्टाचार, लोकसंख्या वाढ अशा अनेक गोष्टी आहेत ज्या मुंबईला त्रास करतात. आता तुम्हीच विचार करा ना, जर प्रत्येक व्यक्तीला योग्य असा रोजगार मिळाला तर ह्या सगळ्या समस्या उपस्थितच राहणार नाहीत. मला माहिती आहे की माझी स्वप्नातली मुंबई साकार करण्यासाठी आपल्याला खूप मेहनत करावी लागते. हे जरी अवघड असलं तरी अशक्य नक्कीच नाहीये. एका फिलॉसॉफरनी म्हटले आहे ना, द लॉंगेस्ट जर्नी बिगिन्स विथ द फर्स्ट स्टेप. आणि ह्यासाठी मला एक प्रामाणिक, निरपेक्ष, स्वच्छ असा प्रशासकीय अधिकारी बनावे लागेल आणि मी तो होईल देखील. माझ्या देशाला या सर्व जगाच्या पुढे जाताना मला बघायचंय आणि माझे मुंबई शहर हे संपूर्ण जगाचे नेतृत्व करेल. पण त्यासाठी सर्वात आधी आपल्याला त्या शहराचा एक आदर्श नागरिक व्हावे लागेल. जय हिंद, जय महाराष्ट्र. धन्यवाद.
क्या बात है बेटा. पीवीजी विद्याभवन हायस्कूल, घाटकोपर, मुंबई. कोमल तोत्रेसाठी पुन्हा एकदा जरा जोरदार टाळ्या होऊ द्या. तिची जी लास्ट लाईन असते ना ती माझ्या कार्यक्रमाची फर्स्ट लाईन असते. किसी भी यात्रा के पीछे एक छोटा कदम छुपा हुआ रहता है और उस यात्रा की शुरुआत उस छोटे कदम के साथ ही होती है. अपनों के बीच सपनों को साकार करने वाली मेरी आन है, बान है, शान है मुंबई. जी हाँ, हम सबकी जान है मुंबई. आणि या मुंबईमध्ये आमचे पोलीस आयुक्त सन्माननीय श्री संजयजी पांडे साहेबांनी एक स्वप्न पाहिलेलं आहे की आजची युवा पिढी एक विशाल सकारात्मक दृष्टिकोन घेऊन येणाऱ्या 2030 साली प्रशासकीय अधिकारी असेल, त्याचप्रमाणे राजकीय नेता असेल आणि त्याचप्रमाणे एक सुजाण नागरिक असेल. इथे उपस्थित असलेल्या या 5 शाळा आणि 5 महाविद्यालयांमधील विद्यार्थ्यांनी खरोखरच सुंदर विचार सादर केलेले आहेत. या सुंदर विचारांचा आमची न्यायनिर्णय मंडळी ज्युरी सर आहेत, ते नक्कीच विचार करणार आहेत. सन्माननीय श्री श्रीकांत कोकाटे साहेब, पोलीस उपायुक्त, सशस्त्र विभाग 2, ताडदेव, मुंबई. डॉक्टर वसंत रेड्डी साहेब, प्राचार्य, एल्फिस्टन महाविद्यालय, फोर्ट मुंबई. आणि सन्माननीय श्री मारिओ फिशरी, संचालक, तंत्रज्ञान विभाग, अमेरिकन स्कूल ऑफ मुंबई. या ठिकाणी सर्व विद्यार्थ्यांचे विचार सादर करण्यात आलेले आहेत. या विद्यार्थ्यांना पारितोषिक दिले जाणार आहे आणि हा पारितोषिक सोहळा काही कालावधीनंतरच सुरू होणार आहे. हा कालावधी फक्त आपला भोजन कालावधी असणार आहे. इथे उपस्थित असलेल्या सर्व विद्यार्थ्यांसाठी, त्यांच्याबरोबर आलेल्या पाल्यांसाठी आणि इथे असलेल्या सर्व मान्यवरांसाठी आपल्या फर्स्ट फ्लोअरवर भोजनाची सुविधा केलेली आहे. भोजन झाल्यानंतर आपण लगेचच या इथून यशवंतराव चव्हाण प्रतिष्ठान इकडे मार्गक्रमण करणार आहोत. आपल्यासाठी 2 गाड्यांची सुविधा करण्यात आलेली आहे आणि त्या ठिकाणी पुढील कार्यक्रम म्हणजेच पारितोषिक वितरणाचा सोहळा हा कार्यक्रम संपन्न होणार आहे. ज्युरी सर, आपल्याला काही बोलायचं असेल तर आता जोरदार टाळ्या होऊ द्या आमच्या ज्युरीसाठी. श्रीकांत कोकाटे साहेब, वसंत रेड्डी साहेब आणि मारिओ फिशरी साहेब. या ठिकाणी हा कार्यक्रम मी वरिष्ठांच्या परवानगीने येथे आपल्या सगळ्यांच्या माहिती करता सन्माननीय श्री संजयजी पांडे साहेब म्हणजेच पोलीस आयुक्त बृहन्मुंबई यांच्या शुभ हस्ते पारितोषिक वितरण सोहळा संपन्न होणार आहे आणि सर्व विद्यार्थ्यांना सर मार्गदर्शन करणार आहेत. तर आपण आवर्जून तिथे उपस्थित राहायचंय. धन्यवाद. युथ फॉर मुंबई स्पीकर्स फोरम हा कार्यक्रम या ठिकाणी या कार्यक्रमाला आपण विराम देत आहोत. आपली पुन्हा भेट होईल भोजन कालावधीनंतर. धन्यवाद. मी असिस्टंट पोलीस इन्स्पेक्टर राजेश खोपकर. थँक्यू.